Chapter 238. Ling Ying could roughly guess what was going on and said, "Don't shoulder everything by yourself. I can help you too." "Well, I need help right now. Go ahead." Ling Ying nodded slightly. "I've been suffocating for the past 2 days. Well, why don't you get on the bed?" Ling Ying. Her pretty face suddenly turned red, and she subconsciously slapped Lin Xian. "Why don't you go and die?" "Ouch," Lin Xian cried out. "Damn it. This girl doesn't know how to control her strength. If I were to die, wouldn't you be a living widow?" Ling Ying immediately regretted slapping Lin Xian's chest. He was injured, but she did it subconsciously. The main thing was that Lin Xian was such a bastard. Why was he still thinking about this at a time like this? "It's good that you're dead. Then I can find the next one." Ling Ying turned her head to the side and muttered softly. "Well done. Have you been disloyal since long ago?" Lin Xian said deliberately. "Yeah, so what? Hit me then," Ling Ying said without any fear of Lin Xian. "Just you wait. When I recover, your special period will be over. I'll see if you still say that then," Lin Xian said fiercely. Ling Ying. Ah, why was she so pitiful? "Then what do you want me to do?" "Admit your mistake," Lin Xian said. "I was wrong, okay?" "No, your attitude isn't sincere enough." Ling Ying. I was wrong. I won't do it again," Ling Ying said with grievance. In fact, she was gritting her teeth in hatred. Bastard. How could she be bullied to this extent by Lin Xian? That's more like it. Lin Xian lay down in satisfaction. "That." Ling Ying hesitated for a moment before saying, "Right now, our house has been targeted by this group of people. How about you and big sister Lin you move to my house first? It will be safer." "Are you inviting me to live in your house, so that we can do it every day?" "Wow. Little Ying Ying, if you want it, just say it. It's not like I won't satisfy you," Lin Xian said with a smile. Ling Ying. Get lost. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian couldn't stop laughing. Because he was laughing too hard. It directly affected his wound. And then his complexion turned ugly. "Uft. Serves you right." Seeing Lin Xian's reaction, Ling Ying couldn't help but laugh. Then, her expression turned serious as she said, "Then what do you think?" Lin Xian pondered for a moment before replying. "All right, but won't it be troublesome for you?" "Why would I be troublesome?" Ling Ying really didn't have any other thoughts. He just felt that it would be safer. Plus, they could live under the same roof. And he could see Lin Xian every day. Also, he could build a better relationship with Linya. So it was normal to have selfish desires. But that doesn't really work. "Why? My house happens to have 3 bedrooms. Each of us can have 1 room. Isn't that good?" Ling Ying asked, puzzled. "Think about it. Right now, you don't want to announce our relationship, and little fairy is living with us. How am I going to do you then?" Ling Ying. Get lost. What else is in your head besides this every day?" "Nothing." Ling Ying. I'm serious. Ling Ying said helplessly. "I'm serious too." Ling Ying. Say, you usually shout so loudly. If little fairy were to live with us, wouldn't she be heard? Ling Ying. Of course, Lin Xian was just teasing her. When Ling Ying said that she was going to stay at his house, Lin Xian had already made up his mind. Then I'll be quieter, all right," Ling Ying mumbled softly. "You think I can be quieter just because you say so? You can be quieter. Slower. Then I can be quieter." Looking at Ling Ying's blushing little face, Lin Xian wanted to press her down and kiss her. She was too cute. All right. I'll listen to you," Lin Xian said with a smile. Ling Ying was also delighted. If he could live with Linya every day, his relationship with her would definitely improve. "Then, I'll go talk to Sister Linya." After saying that, Ling Ying ran out. Soon, Linya walked in and sat beside Lin Xian. She asked, "Are we going to stay at little Ying's house?" Lin Xian nodded. "Yes, it might not be peaceful in the near future. So staying at Ling Ying's house should be the best choice." "Little Xian, what's the trouble outside?" Linya couldn't help but ask. "Well, there's an enemy watching us. It's best to move to another place. It's safer too." Then, "All right, then I'll have to trouble little Ying." "Sister Linya, what are you talking about?" "It's no trouble at all. Lin Xian saved my life before. This is what I should do." Lin Xian smiled. That's right. If she didn't let us go, I would have despised her. I saved her life, and she didn't give me anything in return. Ling Ying. Damn it. He had already tricked his own people. What else could he want? Little Xian, what are you talking about? Little Ling has been taking care of you recently. Besides, she was the one who came to take care of you last night. Lin Ye said reproachfully. I know. I'm just kidding. Lin Xian said with a grin. Then when are we moving? Ling Ying asked. Lin Xian stood up. We're moving now. Are you all right? Lin Xian pulled off the gauze as he said. Most of my external injuries have been healed by Teacher Zhao. One night is enough. It doesn't matter if it hurts a little. I can't let anyone know how bad my condition is right now. Otherwise, I'll be in danger. Don't you have me? Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. I'm fine. I don't want to lie in bed all day. I'm going out for a walk. You guys can pack up. You don't have to bring much. Ling Ying has everything at home. Lin Xian said. Lin Yu was stunned. How do you know that little Ling has everything at home? Lin Xian. Ahem, about that she told me. Well, then, are you really all right? Lin Xian was still hurting all over, but his external injuries had basically been healed. With Teacher Zhao's wood elemental healing ability, and the effects of Ling Ying's medicine and gene medicine, most of it had been absorbed overnight. Most of the pain came from the residual pain and internal injuries, but it was no longer a big problem. I'm fine. I'm going out for a walk. I'll follow you. Ling Ying was still worried. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I'm leaving. Lin Xian put on his clothes and walked out. He's really worrisome. Lin Ye shook her head slightly. But he still knows what he's doing. Sister Lin Ye, let's pack up. Okay. At that moment, Lin Xian took out his phone and dialed Zhang Tian's number. Hey, come to the Gale Mercenary Group's cafe. I want to show you something. Chapter 239. Lin Xian arrived at the Gale Mercenary Group. Today's Gale Mercenary Group was different, because there were a lot of people. Wang Ba and the rest were all there. Lin Xian knocked on the door and walked in. Everyone looked over. Lin Xian. Brother Xian. A few people shouted. What happened to you? Miao Xiaomiao's eyes were sharp, and saw the injuries on Lin Xian's body. Although his external injuries were fine now, the wound was still there. It's nothing, just a small injury. Are you guys going on a mission? Lin Xian saw that everyone was gathered, and guessed what was going on. Yeah, there's a mission. It's quite important. Everyone is discussing whether to go or not. Wang Ba said. Lin Xian then sat beside Miao Xiaomiao. The movement of sitting down was quite big, and affected his wound, causing Lin Xian's complexion to turn pale. Miao Xiaomiao saw it clearly. Your injury is quite serious. Didn't Sister Ning Ning say that you went to a birthday party last night? How did you get injured so badly? Miao Xiaomiao asked curiously. You don't understand what happened last night. There were 70 to 80 young ladies at the party. When I appeared, they all looked at me with sparkling eyes. My injury was caused by them fighting over me. It couldn't be helped. I was too handsome. Lin Xian sighed and feigned a melancholy expression. Is that so? Then you're very good. Lin Xian pinched Miao Xiaomiao's pretty face in front of everyone. What are you doing? Miao Xiaomiao's face turned red, and she glared at Lin Xian. Children should be more respectful to their elders. Next time, I won't be pinching your chubby face. I'll be spanking your butt. Bastard. If it weren't for the fact that you're injured, I would have given you a slap. Uft. Wang Qianqian and the rest held back their laughter. Only Lin Xian could control Miao Xiaomiao. What mission? Let me see. Miao Xiaomiao moved the computer in front of Lin Xian and said, You've been to Deep Cold Valley. There's been a riot there these 2 days. Riot? Beasts. No, it's a riot of cold energy. Lin Xian frowned. Do you remember when I told you that Deep Cold Valley has been growing? Lin Xian nodded. Over the past 2 days, the frost coverage of Deep Freeze Valley has doubled. The cold energy, and there has been a lot of cold energy there. Is there a riot of spiritual treasures power? Miao Xiaomiao nodded. That's the only possibility. In the past 2 days, there have indeed been many experts who have gone to investigate. But like before, they have found nothing. So we want to try our luck again. What if we can find something that no one else has found? But perhaps there is another reason. Recently, the outside world is not very peaceful. What if it is caused by a powerful ice-type demonic beast? I'll go with you, Lin Xian quickly said. You? What's the point of your injury? Miao Xiaomiao rolled her eyes. When are you going? Wang Ba said, we haven't decided yet. It's too dangerous out there. We're still debating whether we should go or not. Lin Xian had been paying attention to the deep cold valley since the first time he went there. There was only one reason why he was paying attention to it. There was a strong frost energy there. If Lin Xian could absorb it and refine it, he would be able to unlock the water elemental. On top of that, he might even be able to mutate the ice elemental. The ice element was a special element. It was different from wind and thunder. Ice was mutated from water. Its roots were still water, but it was much stronger than the water element. Even thunder might not be as powerful as ice. Aside from its powerful freezing ability, the ice attribute was also extremely powerful in dealing damage to martial artists. At the same time, it should be the attribute with the largest range. It was also one of the rare attributes that could control a martial artist. It was not inferior to the thunder attribute at all. Since the cold energy there was a riot, it meant that there was a problem with the spiritual treasure. It was more likely that it had been born. This was an extremely important opportunity. How could Lin Xian miss out on it? I've recovered from my injury today. Moreover, I'm also a member of the Blast Mercenary group. I'll definitely go with everyone. Also, I have the space element. If we meet with danger, I can temporarily send everyone 200 meters away from the danger zone. It's a trump card, Lin Xian said. Before saying this, everyone actually didn't want Lin Xian to go because they saw that he was injured. However, when Lin Xian said that he had the spatial attribute, everyone was tempted again. The danger of this trip was unimaginable. But didn't they live in danger? Xiaomiao, what do you think? Wang Ba asked Miao Xiaomiao. No, he's injured. His injury is not light. It's dangerous for him to go. That won't do. Let me rest for 2 days. 2 days is enough. You haven't decided on a time yet, right? Let's set it 2 days later. Lin Xian said. They looked at each other. Miao Xiaomiao asked worriedly. Are you sure you'll be fine? Don't worry. I can't force myself. 2 days is enough. All right. If you're with us, our safety will be guaranteed. Let me think. I'll see if I can find a few experts to go with us. Miao Xiaomiao pondered. Lin Xian nodded slightly. Whatever. Right, why are you here? Miao Xiaomiao looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Why did he come here with such a serious injury? Me. I'm here to see you. Lin Xian grinned. Yo. Chu Meng, Wang Xian and the others cheered. You too, what are you shouting for? Miao Xiaomiao's face turned red from their cheers. She pointed at them and said angrily. Nothing. Go make me some instant noodles. Miao Xiaomiao said hurriedly. I'll go now. Chu Meng quickly ran away. Why aren't you leaving? Miao Xiaomiao glared at Wang Xian. This, Sister Miao, this. Didn't Chu Meng make some for you? Can I have 2 bowls? Okay. I'll go now. Wang Xian quickly ran away. Lin Xian held back his laughter. Miao Xiaomiao was domineering and arrogant. But that was exactly what made her cute. If he could control her, that would be even better. What are you laughing at? Miao Xiaomiao glared at Lin Xian again. Bastard. She was only 14 years old, and this pervert dared to tease her. Damn it. And in front of so many people. I'm not laughing, Lin Xian said innocently. You're laughing. All right, I'm laughing. I'm laughing at why your face is so red. How is that possible? Why would I blush? Miao Xiaomiao turned her head and said proudly, but her face turned even redder. Ding. Feeling Miao Xiaomiao's embarrassment, scumbag value plus 10,000. Chapter 240. Lin Xian tried to stifle his laughter. Women, no girls, are all hypocrites. You're so shy, yet you're still pretending to be proud. Aren't you blushing? Come. Take a look at who this red apple belongs to. Lin Xian took Wang Qianqian's makeup mirror and placed it in front of Miao Xiaomiao. Miao Xiaomiao glanced at it and quickly turned her head away. Her face was even redder. She was really blushing. Was this still her? Ha ha ha, you're even redder now. Lin Xian laughed. Wang Ba. Wang Qianqian. Was Lin Xian a straight man? F***ck. Shut up. Miao Xiaomiao roared in anger and embarrassment. Lin Xian. I'll shut up. Bastard. Miao Xiaomiao muttered again. Wang Qianqian chuckled. Lin Xian had said that he had seen through it, but didn't say it out loud. Not only had he seen through it, but he had also said it again and again. What a straight man. She wondered if he could even get a girlfriend. Just then, someone knocked on the door of the Gale mercenaries. Zhang Tian pushed the door open and walked in. Excuse me, is anyone here? Everyone's eyes looked over. Here. Lin Xian greeted him and gritted his teeth as he stood up. Hey, are you sure you're okay? Miao Xiaomiao saw that Lin Xian's face was contorted in pain. She was extremely worried about him. He should be lying down in this state. Why was he walking around? He even wanted to go to Deep Cold Valley with them. Was he really okay for 2 days? Are you worried about me? Lin Xian grinned at Miao Xiaomiao. No, I'm just worried that if you die here, it'll be our responsibility, Miao Xiaomiao said stubbornly. Wang Ba and Wang Qianqian were no longer children. They could see Miao Xiaomiao's stubbornness. Then I accept your concern, Lin Xian said and walked away. Sister Qianqian, please pour me 2 cups of coffee. Coming. Miao Xiaomiao. Ba. Shameless. Lin Xian then looked at Zhang Tian and said, sit. Zhang Tian and Lin Xian sat in a corner and asked, Young Master Lin, may I know why you called me here in such a hurry? On the other side, although Miao Xiaomiao was looking at the computer, her attention was still on Lin Xian and Zhang Tian. I don't know what they're talking about. They're being so secretive, and they're purposely hiding far away. Chu Meng walked over after making the instant noodles, and happened to hear Miao Xiaomiao's mumbling. He glanced at her and said, Sister Miao, that's Zhang Tian, the young master of the Zhang family. He's a good-for-nothing. How did Lin Xian get mixed up with that kind of person? He must be planning to make a move on some girl. I can't let him have his way. Miao Xiaomiao finally found a chance for herself to go over. At this moment, Lin Xian took out his phone and said, Look at this video. Zhang Tian took the phone in confusion. When he saw the video, his whole body tensed up. Lin Xian saw his clenched fists and the angry expression on his face. Xiao AI. After watching for more than 10 seconds, especially when he saw the scene of Zhang AI's death, Zhang Tian's whole body trembled, and his eyes turned red. Qin Xiaotian, motherf ***. It's Qin Xiaotian. Zhang Tian slammed the table angrily, and looked at Lin Xian with red eyes. Lin Xian also confirmed that the person in the video was indeed Zhang AI. But it's useless even if we know. We still can't confirm that he's Qin Xiaotian. We still lack evidence. Zhang Tian wiped his eyes and said, Let's do it. Haven't we been doing it all this time? It's just that we can't find anyone with ice attribute to help us. I have someone in mind, but Qin Xiaotian can't beat us, so he definitely won't do it. Think of a way. In such a big Tianhua city, there must be other ice attribute geniuses that we don't know about. There must be. This was the only way they could think of to make Qin Xiaotian reveal a flaw. Other than that, there was nothing else. We can't be too hasty, since he likes to absorb ice attribute energy. As long as we can find it and guide it through a special method, he will definitely do it. If we're too impatient, we might alert the enemy. Zhang Tian nodded. I'll listen to you. He realized that cooperating with Lin Xian was indeed not wrong. He didn't expect that Lin Xian would get this thing the next day. This video, can I copy it? Lin Xian looked at Zhang Tian and said, Are you sure you want to keep this kind of sad video? Zhang Tian hesitated. Then forget about it. He sighed slightly, but he saw great hope. Once they found evidence of Qin Xiaotian's actions, he would definitely be judged by the trial union, and would not be able to escape death. What he was doing was equivalent to what the evil fiend hall did. In a sense, it was even more despicable than the members of the evil fiend hall. As the victim's family, they had the right to enter the trial union and participate in the trial. In other words, as long as they found evidence, The trial union would send experts to capture Qin Xiaotian. They could even personally complete the trial. This way, everyone would know that Qin Xiaotian's mask would be torn off, and they would achieve the effect they wanted. Secondly, they could personally kill this bastard. The only thing they lacked now was evidence. But this was also the most difficult part. I'll go back and continue investigating, and see if I can find any ice attribute geniuses. Okay. Then, Zhang Tian left the Gale mercenaries. Hey, do you want to eat? Miao Xiaomiao placed 2 bowls of instant noodles in front of Lin Xian and asked. Yes, I'll eat this. Lin Xian then snatched the bowl in front of her. Hey, I've eaten. Miao Xiaomiao hurriedly said. But I only like to eat Master Tsong's seafood noodles, not Master Tsong's beef noodles. Lin Xian said and started eating. Ding. Feeling the shyness of a young lady. Scumbag man points plus 20,000. Ding. Forcefully eating a young lady's food. Forcefully kissing her. Scumbag man points plus 100,000. Lin Xian. Did this count? He really didn't like eating Master Tsong's beef noodles, because he felt that his taste buds would feel disgusted after eating it. But he did have the mentality of teasing Miao Xiaomiao. We didn't see anything, we didn't hear anything. Chu Meng hurriedly said from behind. Stinking pervert. Miao Xiaomiao glared at Lin Xian. This person actually ate the noodles that she had just eaten. How despicable. He did it on purpose. He was deliberately taking advantage of her. Little Miao Miao, why is your bowl of noodles so delicious? Explain it to me. Miao Xiaomiao. Why don't you go and die? Miao Xiaomiao hugged the Master Tsong's beef noodles and walked away angrily. Of course, there was also a lot of shyness in her anger. Chapter 241. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was a little irresponsible. In the afternoon, Ling Ying and Lin Yu were moving, but he didn't help at all. After all, he was injured. However, they didn't have much to move. Ling Ying had everything in his house. It was just some clothes, a computer, and some personal belongings. They could just put them in Ling Ying's interspatial ring and bring them over. Lin Xian spent the entire afternoon communicating with Miao Xiaomiao. Chu Meng and the rest didn't disturb Lin Xian. Of course, they could tell something was up. Although Miao Xiaomiao was still young, it was good to cultivate feelings in advance. They could also tell that Miao Xiaomiao had a special relationship with Lin Xian. At this moment, Qin Xiaotian didn't receive any news of Chu Haohan's success for a long time. Even when he sent a message to Chu Haohan, he didn't receive any reply. This made him feel that something was wrong. Did that bastard go back on his word? Qin Xiaotian felt that something was wrong. Chu Haohan didn't even reply to his message, which made him feel inexplicably uneasy. However, that couldn't be right. He was a mysterious heaven realm expert. How could something happen to him? Therefore, Qin Xiaotian specially made a trip there. Then, he heard that a corpse was found in a green belt. Because that place was near Lin Xian's house, his first reaction was that the corpse was Lin Xian. However, when he heard that the corpse was Chu Haohan from the Chu family, he was completely dumbfounded. How could it be? Why would that corpse be Chu Haohan? When he went to the Chu family and saw the sorrowful expressions of the Chu family, he was convinced of this rumor. The person who died was really Chu Haohan himself. Lin Xian killed him? Impossible. This was impossible. Something must have happened last night. Chu Haohan couldn't have died in Lin Xian's hands. Wait, could this be what Lin Xian told him before? Or even seducing him to make him attack Lin Xian? Qin Xiaotian thought so. He must have something. Or there must be a hidden expert by his side. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to lure him into attacking him. Obviously, Qin Xiaotian had been frightened by him playing hard to get earlier. But now, he was even more frightened. It was impossible for him to personally make a move against Lin Xian. At the very least, he had to make a move when he felt the safest. Otherwise, he really couldn't understand how Lin Xian had managed to kill the mysterious heaven realm expert himself. That was impossible. As a result, Qin Xiaotian could only wait and see for a while. At the very least, he couldn't make a move against Lin Xian during this period of time. As for the news that Lin Xian had killed Chu Haohan, Qin Xiaotian did not tell the Chu clan. Firstly, there was no evidence. Secondly, he was the one who had ordered Chu Haohan to do it. He was also a member of the Evil Fiend Hall. If this matter blew up and was investigated by others, they might really find out that it was him. After hearing this news, the first thing Qin Xiaotian did was to destroy the connection between him and Chu Haohan. Although they wouldn't be able to find anything, he had to do it for the sake of safety. This was him. It was normal for him to be cautious when doing something like this. Although sometimes he might be overly cautious. Lin Xian and Miao Xiaomiao chatted for the entire afternoon. To be precise, they cultivated their relationship for the entire afternoon. After all, Miao Xiaomiao was Lin Xian's next target. Moreover, there wasn't much time left. Fortunately, the mission was only to successfully confess to a big sister, and not to have sex with a big sister. This way, Lin Xian felt much less guilty. At most, after the confession was successful, he could just keep her until he was a freshman. However, the prerequisite was that his confession was successful. However, he felt that it was possible. After all, the favorability points were there. Moreover, Miao Xiaomiao was often teased by Lin Xian until she blushed. She understood all of these things. If you could make a girl blush and shy, then she must have a good impression of you. If a girl didn't have a good impression of you and didn't like you, then whatever you said would be useless to her. She wouldn't even care about you. If you teased someone with a good impression of you, that would be called increasing their relationship. If you didn't have a good impression of her, she could slap you and even call you a pervert. Little Meow Meow, I'm going back first. Lin Xian rubbed Miao Xiaomiao's hair. Don't touch me, pervert. Miao Xiaomiao's face was red as she pouted. Ah, I'm just rubbing your hair. I didn't do anything else. Humph. Lulicon. Pervert. Pervert uncle. Lin Xian. F***ck. Lulicon. Pervert. Lin Xian tolerated it. What the hell was this pervert uncle? No matter what, Lin Xian could only be an older brother. How could he be an uncle? Hee hee, I like little Lolis like you. Lin Xian grinned. What do you want? Miao Xiaomiao looked at Lin Xian warily. I like little Lolis, and you are a little Lolis. What do you think I want? Che, I don't think you would dare. Miao Xiaomiao said proudly. Oh, Sister Qianqian went home after work. Everyone else has already gone home. Your grandfather isn't here either. There's only the two of us here. You can't beat me. Tell me, if I do something to you now, who can stop me? Then come at me. Miao Xiaomiao looked as if she had Lin Xian in her grasp. He was just teasing her, and had a loose tongue. Hee hee. How could Lin Xian give up such a good opportunity? Then, he carried Miao Xiaomiao's petite body, and sat her down on the table. You. Miao Xiaomiao's eyes widened. He really dared. Impossible. Then Lin Xian put his hand on Miao Xiaomiao's leg. Ding. Taking advantage of a little sister. Scumbag level higher. Scumbag value plus 200,000. Miao Xiaomiao was wearing a knee-length skirt with cute black stockings. She was especially cute. It had to be said that although she was petite, any man who saw this scene would definitely be stirred up. You. Let go of me. Miao Xiaomiao even forgot that she was a martial artist. She put her hand on Lin Xian's big hand to stop him from moving. Hee hee, you're wrong. I'm wrong. Miao Xiaomiao quickly said. Then kiss me. Get lost. You're not going to kiss me? The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up, and he squeezed it with his big hand. Ouch. Miao Xiaomiao kicked Lin Xian, but he grabbed her ankle. Are you going to kiss me or not? If not, I'll do something naughty. With that, Lin Xian took off Miao Xiaomiao's shoes. I'm going to tell Grandpa that you bullied me. You took advantage of me. Miao Xiaomiao kept kicking, but with Lin Xian holding her ankle, she couldn't kick him away. By the time you tell your grandpa, I'll be done and it'll be too late. Lin Xian smirked. Bastard. Just you wait. Miao Xiaomiao's face was red. Because she was panicking, she didn't know what to do. Ka. The door was suddenly pushed open. Chapter 242. Lin Xian froze for a moment, then turned his head to look. He didn't even let go of her hand for a moment. Cough cough. Miao Jinghao saw this and coughed dryly. Whoosh. Lin Xian quickly let go of her hand, then said to Meow Xiao Meow seriously, "Look at you. Why are you climbing the table? You're so old. I can't even carry you down." Meow Xiao Meow. I. F asterisk CK Lin Yang. Then Lin Xian looked at Meow Jinghao, scratched his head and smiled. "That? Grandpa Meow, you're back from playing cards." Meow Jinghao nodded and sat down beside him. Meow Xiao Meow quickly jumped down from the table, tidied her skirt, and poured a cup of tea for Meow Jinghao. Ding. Feeling Meow Xiao Meow's shyness, scumbag value plus 1 million. Ding. Meow Xiao Meow's favorability towards you has reached 60. Lin Xian. Damn it. He really didn't understand this girl's thoughts. She even increased her favorability towards him? I'm going back to work. Then, Meow Xiao Meow sat in the corner and started working on her computer, but only she knew if she had any thoughts. Lin Xian, what's with all the injuries on your body? Did you go to the beast territory? Meow Jinghao glanced at Lin Xian. Some of the injuries were clearly visible. No, I met an enemy, so it's normal to get some injuries after fighting for a while. Enemy? Meow Jinghao seemed to understand something, but he didn't ask further. Lin Xian, what do you think of Meow Xiao Meow? If it was someone else, Meow Jinghao would have broken the man's leg the moment he came in. But Lin Xian, it was different. Lin Xian had saved Meow Xiao Meow's life twice, and through these incidents, Meow Jinghao had seen through Lin Xian's character. It was rare to see someone with such morals in such a chaotic world. If Lin Xian knew about this, he would definitely cry out that he was innocent. He didn't save people because of his morals, but because he had his own motives. However, in Meow Jinghao's eyes, Lin Xian's talent, attributes, strength, and character were all very rare. At least in the eyes of an old man like him, Lin Xian was not bad. He was very satisfied with Lin Xian. This was also why he was not angry when he saw Lin Xian's hand on Meow Xiao Meow's leg when he came in. Most importantly, as Meow Xiao Meow's grandfather, he naturally understood Meow Xiao Meow's feelings. Meow Xiao Meow treated Lin Xian differently. This was the first boy that Meow Xiao Meow had liked in the 10 years that Meow Jinghao had been taking care of her. So this was rare. Meow Jinghao meow meowzzzz. S meow 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 meow. T. S how. But thinking back to his era, there were people who got married and had children at the age of 16. When Lin Xian heard Meow Jinghao's question, he turned to look at Meow Xiao Meow, who was eavesdropping in the corner. Meow Xiao Meow quickly lowered her head and looked at her computer seriously. Grandpa Meow, what are you referring to? Lin Xian asked with a smile. I'm fine with anything. Lin Xian then said. Although she's spoiled, she's very kind and cute. I remember that you don't have a girlfriend yet, right? Meow Jinghao asked. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. Damn. What's going on? Lin Xian nodded. Not yet, there's no rush. Lin Xian began to talk nonsense. Then, why don't you wait for Xiao Meow for 2 years? Meow Jinghao looked at Lin Xian and asked. Grandpa, what are you talking about? Meow Xiao Meow pouted. Girl, focus on your computer. Meow Jinghao smiled at Meow Xiao Meow. Humph. Meow Xiao Meow's face turned red. She then proudly snorted and continued to play on her computer. However, her ears perked up as she continued to eavesdrop on their conversation. Lin Xian scratched his head and said, Grandpa Meow, what you mean is? Ha ha ha. Meow Jinghao laughed and said, It's rare for this girl to meet a guy that she likes. You and her fate isn't bad, and you have a good character. As her grandfather, I have more power than her parents. I can still make the decision. Who likes him? He's a big hooligan. Meow Xiao Meow said angrily. How dare he touch her thigh? Damn it. He even wanted her to kiss him. Pervert. Meow Jinghao shook his head and did not reply to Meow Xiao Meow. He continued to look at Lin Xian and asked, You're 21, right? Almost 22. It doesn't matter if you're 7 or 8 years older. Lin Xian was speechless. Since Meow Jinghao liked him, then it was easy to handle. About that. Grandpa Meow, I was just playing with little Meow Meow. Lin Xian said angrily. I understand. This old man knows how you young people think. So it's settled then? This? Lin Xian looked hesitant. He then looked up and said, I'm not sure either. Meow Jinghao smiled and said, Think about it. When little Meow grows up, She won't be any worse than other girls. Okay, I'll try. Before that, I'll treat her like my own sister. Okay. Then. Grandpa Meow, I'll leave first. I have something to do. Little Meow Meow, bye-bye. Then Lin Xian pushed open the door and ran away as if he was escaping. Bow to your head. Meow Xiao Meow rolled her eyes and ran over. She sat on Meow Jinghao's lap and whined. Grandpa, what were you saying just now? Oh, my precious granddaughter. Grandpa's old bones can't take you shaking like that. Meow Jinghao smiled dotingly. Then why did Grandpa say that just now? You clearly saw that he was bullying little Meow. Meow Xiao Meow said sadly. Grandpa is finding you a boyfriend in advance. Isn't that good? That's not good. Little Meow needs to be with Grandpa. Plus, little Meow is still young. Then you don't like Lin Xian? Meow Jinghao asked. How could little Meow like him? I hate him. Meow Jinghao laughed. He knew his granddaughter's pride very well. If Meow Xiao Meow didn't like Lin Xian, she wouldn't have come over to talk to him only now. When Lin Xian put his hand on her lap, she wouldn't have acted like that. If she got angry, the entire shop would have been destroyed. How could it be so quiet just now? Okay then. Since you hate him, Grandpa will tell him and forbid him from coming to the Gale mercenaries in the future. Then, Meow Jinghao took out his phone and was about to call Lin Xian. Don't. Meow Xiao Meow quickly snatched the phone. Then, she saw Meow Jinghao looking at her with a smile on his face. She blushed instantly. Grandpa. Meow Xiao Meow started whining. Meow Jinghao smiled and scratched her little nose. Grandpa has taken care of you for more than 10 years. Do you think Grandpa doesn't know what you're thinking? Chapter 243. That's right, Meow Xiao Meow's parents were too busy. They were so busy that Meow Xiao Meow spent more time in her mother's womb than she did with them. Meow Xiao Meow blushed and did not say anything. Your parents are contributing to the survival of mankind. So don't blame them for not having time to spend with you. As for Grandpa, he's old and probably doesn't have many years left to live. Grandpa, what are you talking about? You'll definitely live longer than that bad guy Lin Xian. Ha ha ha. Meow Jinghao laughed, then said. Before that, Grandpa wants to find you a good partner. Even though you're still young, Grandpa is worried that you'll be deceived by those men who only know how to sweet-talk girls. Lin Xian is the one I'm most satisfied with out of all the young talents I've met in my life. He's different from those men who appear humble and gentlemanly on the surface. He's very real, and his character is shown through his actions. That's extremely rare. He's very similar to your father. If Lin Xian knew that Meow Jinghao had such a good impression of him, he would laugh himself to death. His character was good. Perhaps. But if he was good, he wouldn't be three-timing. If Meow Jinghao knew about this, he would not have said such a thing. Grandpa wants the two of you to build a good relationship before he has a girlfriend. Also, you like him too, don't you? No, I don't. Meow Xiao Meow muttered against her will. You little girl, you're so stubborn. You take after your mother. Meow Jinghao laughed. Grandpa. Meow Xiao Meow shook Meow Jinghao's arm coquettishly. Fine. Grandpa won't care, okay? You and Lin Xian's relationship will be up to the two of you, okay? Meow Xiao Meow nodded softly. Sigh. Sometimes it's not good for a girl to be too reserved. Maybe the man will give up on you and find another one. It'll be too late for regrets then. Meow Jinghao purposely muttered this, then walked away with a smile. Anyway, he thought that Lin Xian was very good. Although Meow Xiao Meow was still young, it was good to build a relationship early. Meow Xiao Meow stood rooted to the ground, pondering over Meow Jinghao's words. That's right. If she blindly kept being reserved, Lin Xian would lose his patience and go looking for other big sisters. What should she do then? Although Meow Xiao Meow didn't want to admit it, she had to admit that she was very clear about her feelings towards Lin Xian. Perhaps she didn't know if it was love, but she definitely had a good impression of him. She would often think of Lin Xian, and she even liked to spend time with Lin Xian. She even liked to be teased by Lin Xian. She didn't know why either. It was probably just as Meow Jinghao had said. Whenever she saw Lin Xian with another girl, she would feel displeased, very unhappy. What if, as Miao Jinghao had said, Lin Xian had lost his patience? She would really regret it then, wouldn't she? She didn't know either. If he loses his patience, it means that the big bad guy isn't sincere at all. Miao Xiaomiao grumbled. But this really didn't have much to do with sincerity. They hadn't even confirmed their relationship yet. If she kept rejecting him, what if Lin Xian met another beautiful girl, and he liked her too? Wouldn't that be normal? She was young, had a big temper, and her breasts weren't big either. How could she compare to others? Moreover, Miao Xiaomiao knew that Lin Xian had a few beautiful girls around him. Miao Xiaomiao was going crazy on the spot. She didn't know what to do. If Lin Xian knew how complicated her feelings were, he would be so happy. Miao Xiaomiao's complicated feelings just so happened to give Lin Xian an important message. It would be easier to win her over. But Lin Xian didn't know. In this kind of situation, when the girl was in a dilemma, the guy had to continue taking the initiative. In this way, the girl's dilemma would be biased towards the guy, because the guy took the initiative. Unfortunately, if only Lin Xian knew. But even if he didn't, he had a plan based on what Miao Jinghao had just said. When they arrived at Ling Ying's house, Lin Xian took out the key and opened the door. Xiao Xian. Ling Yi heard the door open and walked over. Then, she saw Lin Xian opening the door with the key. Lin Xian had Ling Ying's house key? Lin Xian seemed to have realized this as well. He quickly explained that Ling Ying gave me the key in advance when we were at home. He was afraid that you guys wouldn't be home. Yeah. Ling Yi believed him. Ding. Deceiving a girl is considered a scumbag behavior. Scumbag value plus 50,000. Lin Xian was speechless. F***ck. How could this work? The main thing was he had to lie. He couldn't tell her that he had Ling Ying's house key a long time ago, because he had stayed here a few times before. Right? Ling Ying also let out a sigh of relief. It's getting late. I'll go make dinner. Ling Ying quickly said. Okay. I'll go with you. Ling Yi nodded. Then, she looked at Lin Xian and said, Your room is ready. Go rest first. Okay. Call me when you're ready. Then, Lin Xian went back to his room and lay on the bed to rest. He was now at arcane body stage 7 stars and was close to 8 stars. His Hotian injuries should be more or less healed. He wanted to see if he could reach 8 stars or even 9 stars. If it was possible, Lin Xian could let out a sigh of relief. At that time, he would no longer be afraid of the arcane body stage. The Tianwu conference would begin in a little more than a week. This was also a very important opportunity. The God's Awakening door was also the place Lin Xian wanted to go. He would definitely fight for it. However, he would not rely on the charity of others and give up his freedom. He would rely on himself to have the qualifications to do so. He still had 40 million scum points that he had not used yet. The roulette wheel had also consumed 4 million points this time. Now he was earning more and more points. But at the same time, he was spending more and more points. Ling Ying walked in while chewing on a cucumber. Is it smooth? Lin Xian asked. What? Ling Ying revealed a surprised expression. Look at it. How can it be so rough? Ling Ying. When she heard Lin Xian's second sentence, she understood. Bastard. Go to hell. After saying that, she threw the cucumber at Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian caught it and started chewing on it. Ling Ying's face was red, but she still walked towards Lin Xian. A gene medicine appeared in her hand. Your injuries still need to be healed. Give me your hand. Then Lin Xian stretched out his hand. Ling Ying placed the gene medicine on Lin Xian's arm. A wave of wood and water element healing energy seeped into Lin Xian's body. This energy was like medicine. After absorbing it, his injuries would be much better. Chapter 244. Gene medicine was also divided into good and bad. There were a total of 2 types: spiritual energy recovery and healing. It was no wonder that Lin Xian had taken out a gene medicine at Yi's birthday party, because there really wasn't such a medicine. The gene medicine that Ling Ying gave Lin Xian was probably the best on the market. Even the most ordinary one would cost over 1,000 yuan. This kind of good one would cost at least tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands. Because it was very important, It might be able to save a person's life just by healing them. As for the spiritual energy recovery gene medicine, the worst one could recover 100 points, and the best one could recover 500 points. However, Lin Xian didn't have the habit of carrying these things around with him, but they were very important. Therefore, Lin Xian decided to carry them with him, because he didn't have the water, wood or light attributes. These three attributes all had a certain degree of healing ability. If he didn't, then he must carry the gene medicine with him. The attribute energy seeped into his body, making Lin Xian feel very comfortable. Oh right, little Ying, where can I buy this gene medicine? Ling Ying, you're a 7-star arcane body realm expert, and you don't even know where to buy gene medicine? Ling Ying looked as if he had seen a ghost. This person must be fake, right? I've never bought it. Ling Ying. He really didn't understand. This gene medicine was something that all martial artists needed when they went out of the demonic beast realm. It was even more important than food. Lin Xian was already a 7-star arcane body realm expert, and he didn't even know where to buy it. Ling Ying was also impressed. The 3 major powers sell it. Then, some families cooperated with the 3 major powers and opened some shops to sell it. What's the name of the shop? The shop that sells the gene medicine is called Martial Spirit Shop. They sell things related to martial artists. This shop should be very common. Haven't you seen it before? I've seen it before, but I've never been inside, so I don't understand. So this is a place that sells gene medicine. Does it sell gene medicine of all grades and prices? Lin Xian asked. Ling Ying nodded. The gene medicine is divided into 5 grades. Basically, the first 3 grades are sold. The 4th and 5th grades are basically only sold by the 3 major forces. Then what grade did you give me? 5th class. Hehe, I love you. Remember to pay me back. One is 80,000. I've already used 3 of them on you. That's 240,000. Lin Xian. This was indeed unbearable. These mercenary groups went out to earn money. Even if they had to deal with life and death situations, they might only be able to earn 50 to 60,000, or at most a few 100,000. They might not even be able to afford this level 5 genetic medicine. If one medicine cost 80,000, they could buy a few and earn nothing. Therefore, only the rich could buy this. This was because you couldn't guarantee that there would always be a martial artist with healing attributes by your side. Even if there was one, this thing had to be carried around. But it had to be said that the effect was indeed good. Give me the money. Ling Ying extended his hand to Lin Xian. F***CK. If you really want to calculate money with me, then how many billions do you owe me? What do you mean? I've spent hundreds of millions of resources on you every time. Hundreds of millions each time. How many times has it been? You probably owe me more than 1 billion. Ling Ying. Get lost. Ha ha ha. There's no need for us to talk about money. My money is your money, and your money is mine. Lin Xian then muttered. Tomorrow, I'll go to the Bounty Hunter Guild to buy some gene medicine. He had a few million on him, all given to him by Wang Fugui. The tens of millions he earned that night were with Linya. Lin Xian couldn't use it for the time being. If Tianhua City fell, this would be their foundation in other cities. Why do you want to buy it? Ling Ying frowned slightly. Spare. You definitely have to carry it with you, right? Ling Ying felt that something was wrong. Why did he want to buy it for no reason? Moreover, he wanted to buy it tomorrow. He was clearly injured. Even if he wanted to buy it, couldn't he wait until his injuries were better? He felt that something was wrong. Are you going to the demonic beast territory again? Ling Ying asked. Lin Xian admired her intelligence. From his simple actions and words, she could tell what was going on. Gigi, being with such a smart girl, wouldn't that be a dangerous group? And Lin Xian nodded slightly. When? It didn't matter if he went to the demonic beast territory. The key was when. The day after tomorrow. Ling Ying. Are you crazy? Don't you know your own injuries? Why do you have to go the day after tomorrow? Ling Ying was angry and helpless towards Lin Xian. My injuries are almost healed by the day after tomorrow. Ling Ying shook his head and said. Even if it's almost healed, it will still affect you. But I have to go. It's very important. Lin Xian said. Deep Freeze Valley was indeed very important to him. It was related to his strength. Moreover, he had the eye of spiritual insight. This was also why Lin Xian wanted to go. If he did not have the eye of spiritual insight, perhaps he would not go because the probability of returning empty-handed was too high. However, if he had it, it would be a completely different story. The eye of spiritual insight could detect spiritual energy fluctuations. If there were treasures, it would definitely be able to detect them. Where? Deep Freeze Valley. The supernatural. Didn't that place mutate recently? But the more dangerous it is, the more you want to go. Ling Ying said helplessly. Lin Xian shrugged and said, danger and opportunity coexist. It just so happens that the more dangerous it is, the more I can get. I'll go with you. Ling Ying said unhappily. There's no need. You stay and accompany my sister. I'll have to trouble Miss Xiao to come and accompany Sister Linya. I'll go with you to Deep Freeze Valley. Ling Ying said. That's too dangerous. Lin Xian really did not want Ling Ying to be in danger. You know that too? Then why are you still going? All right, but you have to listen to me. Ling Ying. F*CK. An unreliable person wants me to listen to him. All right. I know. Bastard. After cursing, Ling Ying angrily went to prepare dinner with Linya. After dinner, Lin Xian lay on the bed to recuperate. When he woke up, his body had indeed recovered a lot. Linya went to the office in the morning, while Ling Ying accompanied Lin Xian to the martial arts shop. What kind of gene medicine are you looking for? Ling Ying asked. Of course it's the best. That way, I can be more assured. Isn't your money with Sister Linya? Do you have money? I'll buy it for you. I have money, Lin Xian said with a smile. TSK. Then, Ling Ying brought Lin Xian to the Bounty Hunter Guild's hall. Lin Xian had been here many times, but there were many things that he did not know. When they arrived at the third floor, Lin Xian had only passed by this place through the elevator. He had never been here before. When they arrived at the third floor, Lin Xian was shocked. Gigi, the third floor was huge. There were so many people. Don't tell me you don't know? Ling Ying asked Lin Xian in surprise. Chapter 245. Lin Xian naturally didn't know. Looking at Lin Xian's expression, Ling Ying explained to him. The Bounty Hunter Guild and the temple building from the 3rd to the 10th floor are all similar to shopping malls. They all sell things that martial artists need, so it's naturally a place with a high flow of people. Other than the gene medicine, they also sell martial arts techniques, spiritual weapons, and some special combat and defensive items. It's my fault for being ignorant. Lin Xian glanced around. There were all kinds of shops here, and they were all luxurious shops. The people who run this place are all from the 3 major forces. The money they earn is also from the 3 major forces. This is also an important source of capital for the 3 major forces. Ling Ying said, then led Lin Xian into a very large shop. Little Ying, you're here. The shop was estimated to be about 500 square meters. There were a few employees inside, and the boss was a middle-aged man. There were no less than 10 martial artists walking around. Ling Ying smiled, then nodded. I'm here to buy the gene medicine. Then Ling Ying introduced to Lin Xian. This is Uncle Hua. He usually gives me a discount when he comes to buy. Then Ling Ying introduced to Hua Dahai. This is my friend Lin Xian. Ha ha ha, Little Ying's friend is my friend. Hua Dahai laughed. You guys go ahead. I'll go greet the other customers. Thank you, Uncle Hua. Lin Xian looked at the things on the shelves and said, You can't be a big customer of theirs. You even bought a friendship. Ling Ying said, I'm really a big customer of theirs. Han Chuxue. And I probably spent no less than 5 million at his place in the past few years. Lin Xian. Damn. You have a mine at home. I do have a mine. Lin Xian. You're awesome. That's enough. Please take care of me. Okay, I need a little puppy. Can you do it? Woof woof woof. Uft. You're not serious. Ling Ying was amused by Lin Xian. Then Ling Ying said, Actually, the bigger reason is that I accidentally saved his son in the beast domain. That's why he gave me a discount. I see. Sister Ling Ying. A figure ran out from inside and ran to their side. This was a very handsome young man. He was about 17 or 18 years old. In fact, he wasn't considered young. Hua Mingyu glanced at Lin Xian. From his eyes, Lin Xian could see the enmity he had for him. He had never seen Ling Ying bring a boy out to shop before. Lin Xian could also see the adoration in his eyes for Ling Ying. I brought a friend over to buy something. Ling Ying smiled. Do you still want to buy the old ones? Look at him. Then, Hua Mingyu looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian also smiled politely at him. It was normal for others to like Ling Ying. After all, she was beautiful. How could he stop others from liking her? The more it was like this, the better Lin Xian felt. Sorry, but the goddess you like is already his. Sister Ling Ying, do you have anything you want to buy? I'll accompany you. There's some new stuff coming in recently. Ling Ying smiled and shook her head. No need. Go do your thing. Then, okay. Then Hua Mingyu walked away. He likes you. Ling Ying snorted and said, there are many people who like me, so be careful. Who knows, maybe I'll find you a hat to wear one day. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. What are you laughing at? I'll definitely let you wear this hat first. Go to hell. Ling Ying patted Lin Xian. Not far away, Hua Mingyu saw Lin Xian and Ling Ying flirting. He showed an expression of disbelief. He can't be Sister Ling Ying's boyfriend, right? Impossible. How can anyone be worthy of Sister Ling Ying? And looking at his sickly appearance, it's definitely impossible. Ling Ying brought Lin Xian to the target. Lin Xian looked at the price. Good Lord, 100,000. I'm buying it for 80,000. How many do you want? Ling Ying said. And 5 of the same. Lin Xian pondered for a moment and said. Then, Ling Ying took out 5 healing genetic medicine and 5 healing medicine to recover spiritual power and asked. Do you want anything else? Lin Xian shook his head. No need, it's enough. Then the two went to the counter to pay. Lin Xian took out his phone and was about to scan the QR code, but Ling Ying beat him to it. No need. You should keep your money to chase girls. Ling Ying said. Lin Xian. Okay. Ling Ying waved his phone. Sister Ling Ying, take care. Lin Xian put the medicine into his spatial ring and asked curiously. How do you have so much money? You don't even hesitate to spend millions. By the way, Auntie came from another place last time. Where is your home? He didn't even know which city Ling Ying's home was in. Tiandu. Lin Xian. What? Are you scared? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian with a smile. Tiandu was the capital of China. It was the most prosperous city, with the most powerful people. There was no other city like it. There, any small family could be as powerful as the Qin family in Tiandu City. No wonder he was rich. What's there to be scared of? By the way, I might have to bring you home soon. Lin Xian. Why? My father wants to see you. I'll go. Meet the parents. Ling Ying said helplessly. I don't want to either, but my father will definitely get involved in this matter. Last time, my mother should have told you about it. Even if you don't go, he will kidnap you and bring you there. He might even take me away and not let me leave Tiandu. So the best way is you go. I'm panicking. Ling Ying nodded. I know, he will definitely have a series of tests for you, but I can't refuse. When? Ling Ying said helplessly. I don't want to go back anyway. Drag it out, and see how long you can drag it out. Try to become stronger before then. At least reach the mystic heaven realm. Although the mystic heaven realm is nothing in Tiandu, it's still better than the mystic body realm. Lin Xian nodded slightly. They were about to go home, because Lin Xian was still injured. However, Lin Xian wanted to spend more time with Ling Ying, so he went shopping with her for the whole afternoon. When they returned home, Ling Ying immediately prepared dinner. After about an hour, Lin Ye also returned. The others did not know about Lin Xian's injury. Otherwise, they would be worried. Lu Yufan and Yi Yi did not see Lin Xian come to the Sky Martial Court, so they sent messages to Lin Xian to ask about it. However, Lin Xian just said that he had something to do and brushed them off. 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. During this time, Lin Xian went shopping with Lu Yufan and chatted with Yi Yi for a while. As for Wang Xintong, she was very busy recently and had been working hard to improve herself. Chapter 246. On the third day, which was the agreed day, Lin Xian brought Ling Ying to the Gale mercenaries again. Lin Xian's injuries had almost fully recovered in the past 2 days. Lin Ye and Ling Ying had taken good care of him. It was a pity that he did not find a chance to sneak into Ling Ying's room at night. Everyone was already prepared at the Gale mercenaries' coffee shop. Miao Xiao Miao, Wang Ba, Chu Meng, Wang Xian, Lin Xian, and Ling Ying were on this trip. Miao Jinghao was assured to let Miao Xiao Miao go because of Lin Xian. He had the space attribute. Miao Jinghao felt that with Lin Xian around, even if they could not defeat him, they could still run away. Moreover, he hoped that Miao Xiao Miao could gain more experience, because a true martial artist must be born from such experiences. The so-called realm was not the only one. Sister Ling Ying. Seeing Ling Ying, Miao Xiao Miao came over with a smile. They did not know each other before the mission, but after all, they had experienced life and death together. It was normal for them to have a good relationship. However, Miao Xiao Miao was very curious. What was the relationship between Lin Xian and Ling Ying? Every time they went on a mission, they would look for her. It seemed like they had a good relationship. Moreover, Ling Ying was too beautiful. Miao Xiao Miao was also beautiful, but she was still older. Perhaps in a few years, she would not lose to Ling Ying. But right now, Ling Ying still had the advantage. Miao Xiao Miao would inexplicably compare herself to Ling Ying. She couldn't compare in height, long legs, looks, and even the size of her breasts. She was pissed. She even wondered when she could grow up sooner. When that time came, she would definitely be a long-legged goddess. When that time came, wouldn't she be able to control Lin Xian tightly in her hands? Let's go. Lin Xian asked. How are your injuries? Miao Xiao Miao asked worriedly. It's fine. If something happens, do you think I'd be an idiot to go out and suffer? It would be best if. Miao Xiao Miao then took out 2 small jade boxes and handed them to each of them. These are the ice spirit pearls that Grandpa asked for. They're not rare, but they're quite precious. The effect is that when worn, the ice spirit pearl will absorb the surrounding cold energy. Lin Xian took it and asked. That is to say, with this little bead, we will experience less cold in Deep Freeze Valley? That's right. Originally, we wouldn't have needed it, but without the eruption of cold energy, we wouldn't have been able to enter the extreme cold region. However, with this and the fact that all of us are at least at the arcane body realm, coupled with the special cold-resistant clothes, we should be able to make it a lot easier. However, I'm not sure if we'll be able to enter the extreme cold region. Miao Xiao Miao said. How cold is it there now? Ling Ying asked. Arcane body realm cultivators can't enter the extreme cold region, even with the special cold-resistant clothes. This is because many people have died to the cold energy in the past few days, so we need this ice spirit pearl. Miao Xiao Miao said. Ling Ying pondered for a moment. That is to say, the cold energy in the extreme cold region is enough to kill arcane body realm cultivators. Only arcane heaven realm cultivators can enter, and if we encounter other monsters, it's okay. Sister Qianqian will come with us. Wang Qianqian put on her equipment and walked out of the room. Wang Qianqian? Lin Xian was stunned. Lin Xian had always thought that Wang Qianqian was just a worker, or a support worker in the coffee shop. He didn't expect her to be the strongest. Lin Xian hadn't used his Eye of Cave Spirit all this time, but he couldn't find anything now. That was to say, she was at least Arcane Heaven Realm 2 stars. Sister Qianqian rarely participates in our operations, but she's very powerful. She's an Arcane Heaven Realm 3 stars expert, and she cultivates cold energy, so she's immune to the cold energy in the extreme cold region. Hearing Miao Xiaomiao's words, Lin Xian was pleasantly surprised. This Wang Qianqian was also a genius in cultivating cold energy. Then, could she be the bait for him to deal with Qin Xiaotian? That was possible. Qin Xiaotian definitely didn't know her, and didn't know her cultivation. If possible, Wang Qianqian could definitely be of help. This was definitely an unexpected gain. In any case, Lin Xian noted it down. He'd discuss it again when they returned. Arcane Heaven Realm 3 stars, even stronger than Ling Ying. However, although Wang Qianqian looked 22 or 23 years old, She was actually 26 years old. This was something that Lin Xian hadn't expected. But 26 years old and arcane heaven realm 3 stars wasn't too strong. However, this cultivation realm was enough for him to do so. Also, there's a very powerful sister with us. Miao Xiaomiao said mysteriously. There's more. Miao Xiaomiao nodded. She should be here soon. Let me show you the current situation of Deep Cold Valley. Then Miao Xiaomiao took out her laptop. Look, the area of Deep Cold Valley has more than doubled. The entire Deep Cold Valley has become the Arctic region. In other words, the Arctic region has become a whole new level. But with the Ice Spirit Pearl, an arcane body 1 star shouldn't be too much of a problem. Plus, there are a few strong cultivators following us. Although it's dangerous, there's a certain level of protection. Ling Ying frowned slightly. The cold energy is nothing to be afraid of. I'm worried about the demonic beasts. Miao Xiaomiao nodded. Demonic beasts, actually there aren't many of them. According to the other martial artists who came back, the number of demonic beasts in the Arctic region has decreased. There aren't any strong ice-type demonic beasts to fill in the gaps. So if we go now, we should be fine as long as our luck isn't too bad. Also, from what I know, there might be more than 10 mercenary groups heading to Deep Cold Valley today. Due to the increase in cold energy, there are a lot of deep cold spiritual crystals there. Even if it's not for the heavenly treasure, it's still worth going there for the deep cold spiritual crystals. Deep freeze spiritual crystals were still very rare in China. This was because the climate in China did not produce deep freeze spiritual crystals. They could only be found in cold regions. There were some in Deep Freeze Valley, but they had been almost completely wiped out by martial artists over the years. Now that Deep Freeze Valley had changed, many deep freeze spiritual crystals had appeared again. This piece could be sold for a lot of money. Therefore, it had attracted many mercenary groups. With so many mercenary groups going together, there might be more than 100 of them. It's safer if we go together. Lin Xian pondered. Then let's get ready and go. Wang Ba said. Miao Zhenghao walked over and said, Remember, everyone's safety is our top priority. If there's any danger, don't fight it head-on. With Lin Xian's spatial manipulation, everyone can escape. Lin Xian's spatial manipulation was where their confidence came from. Got it, Grandpa. At this moment, the door was pushed open, and a lady in a white dress walked in slowly. Chapter 247. Everyone's gaze turned towards that direction. A woman in an elegant white dress pushed open the door and walked in. She was extremely tall, and her skin was even fairer than the white walls. Most importantly, the aura she exuded was so strong that even Ling Ying would be suppressed by her if she stood next to him. Even a fool would be able to tell that she was noble. She seemed to be deliberately making herself look ordinary. But how could her aura be ordinary? It would only be possible if she changed out of her dress and put on the clothes of a village girl. However, it could be seen that her dress was already very ordinary. Moreover, she was wearing a veil on her face. This made Lin Xian and the rest extremely curious. This was not the ancient times. In this era, who would wear a veil? It was very, very rare. Those who did would definitely attract attention. However, it was indeed there. When Lin Xian saw her, he felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Just her aura and nobility made Lin Xian feel familiar. Because other than that woman, he had never met another woman with such a noble aura. Therefore, Lin Xian subconsciously made the connection. Then, he realized in disbelief that it seemed like it was a match. Impossible, right? When Wang Ba, Chu Meng, and the rest saw the woman, their eyes almost popped out. This was simply too much. Even if they couldn't see her face, her aura and figure were already perfect. Even if they couldn't see her face, it didn't matter. They could still imagine. Ling Ying was also quite surprised. As far as she knew, she had never seen a woman with such a good temperament. Han Chushua was similar to her, but she definitely couldn't compare. Then he glanced at Lin Xian and saw his shocked expression. She couldn't help but pinch his waist. Bastard! I'm still here, and you're already stunned by a beauty? If Lin Xian knew what she was thinking, he would definitely be wronged. His shocked expression was because he thought that this woman was similar to the woman from the demon clan. Tisk, why did you pinch me? Lin Xian glared at Ling Ying, and Ling Ying glared back at him. Because of Lin Xian's words, the woman's attention fell onto Lin Xian. When she saw Lin Xian, her beautiful eyes violently shrank. At the same time, a trace of killing intent gushed out from her body, but it disappeared in an instant. Elder sister. Miao Xiao Miao ran over happily and held her hand. Lin Xian and Ling Ying had noticed the subtle change in her. This made Lin Xian think of something. He turned on the system and almost fell off his chair. F***CK. This person was the female demon. It was her. This was because she was the one who triggered the confession mission, and the reward for confessing was the mastery of the space attribute. It was her. F***CK. An extremely strong woman from the demon clan had actually snuck into their Tianhua city. The enchantment outside seemed to be useless against her. What was she trying to do? Ling Longshui nodded slightly. Beauty, no goddess, are you coming with us? Chu Meng wiped his saliva and stammered. Facing such a woman, they would subconsciously feel nervous. Ling Longshui nodded slightly. Her beautiful eyes swept over Lin Xian. Lin Xian took a deep breath. She wouldn't dare to do anything. After all, in her eyes, he still had her weakness. But what was she doing here? Why was she going with them to Deep Cold Valley? Little Miao Miao, where did you two meet? Lin Xian asked. We met in Tianhua City. Elder sister asked me for directions, and then we got to know each other. After that, I invited her to join us and she agreed. Lin Xian. This silly girl. She was usually so smart. Why would she randomly trust an outsider? Moreover, they didn't even know each other. Could it be that she was simply stunned by her aura, and even thought that people with this aura were all good people? Elder sister is very powerful. She can definitely protect us. Miao 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 said. Then what's your elder sister's name? Miao 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 blinked her big eyes and looked at Ling Longshui. Ling Longshui. Her red lips parted slightly as she said this name. Lin Xian didn't know whether the name was real or fake, but he knew who she was. However, since he knew, it didn't matter if she had an ulterior motive. Lin Xian could threaten her. Although it was dangerous, there was no other way. Elder sister, take a seat first. I'll get you a cup of coffee. Ling Longshui sat alone in a corner. What? You can't resist seeing a beauty. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. No matter how beautiful she is, she's not as beautiful as you. Look at the veil she's wearing. It must be because she's ugly. Her figure and aura are so good. What's the use of being ugly? Lin Xian grinned at Ling Ying. Ling Longshui clenched her fist slightly. She really didn't expect to meet him here. Really, she really wanted to kill Lin Xian. But she really didn't dare to, because she wasn't sure if Lin Xian was telling the truth. The possibility of it being true was higher, because she was unconscious at that time. Lin Xian could do whatever he wanted, so she really didn't dare. I'm guessing that's not what you think in your heart. Ling Ying knew Lin Xian too well. Ahem. Lin Xian coughed dryly. After Miao Xiao Miao brought the coffee to Ling Longshui, she ran to help everyone get their things. She quickly walked out. Sister, do you need the winter clothes? Miao Xiao Miao asked. Ling Longshui shook her head. That's true. Sister must be very strong. Naturally, she won't need the winter clothes. Their eyes never left Ling Longshui's body for even a second. At first, they were stunned, but later on, they all thought of one thing. Why did she want to go with them? Couldn't she go by herself? Little Miao Miao. Lin Xian called Miao Xiao Miao over and whispered. Do you know her? What if she's a bad person? No, she's a very good person. When I showed her the way, she even gave me a wind attribute earth rank martial skill. She could tell that I'm a wind attribute at a glance. She's also very generous. Maybe she's from a big family in Tiandu. Miao Jinghao pondered. Ling Long. There was no Ling Long family in Tiandu. Could it be another empire? That's possible. Judging from her temperament, she definitely wasn't an ordinary girl. But there might not be any danger. If she really had some scheme, such as wanting to kill them, she didn't have to do this. Moreover, could they have any deep grudges with others? Of course not. Even if this girl wasn't from the righteous sect, she didn't have to wait for them for 2 days, right? It could only be said that her cultivation level was high, but not too high. She wouldn't dare to go to Deep Freeze Valley alone. That was what everyone thought. Chapter 248. Lin Xian knew very well that not only was she not human, her strength had reached an unimaginable level. She wanted to kill them. No, she could even destroy the city with a wave of her hand. Lin Xian did not dare to imagine. He used to think that the barrier outside was invincible, and that only humans could enter and exit. But now he knew that was not the case. Demons could enter and exit. Moreover, they would not be discovered. As for how she did it, Lin Xian did not know. Perhaps when one's realm reached a certain level, they could ignore it. Then let's pack up and set off. Lin Xian could be considered to have a certain level of confidence that nothing would happen to him. On the contrary, she could become their greatest protection, because she didn't even kill Lin Xian when he had sex with her last time. How could she possibly make a move on Lin Xian now? Because of the fake photos and videos in Lin Xian's hands, she was very afraid. That's right. If it was leaked and spread through the internet, everyone would know in a day. She did not dare to take the risk. Let's go. Then they arrived at the Bounty Hunter Guild. Linglong Shui was wearing a veil, but her aura definitely attracted everyone's attention. Linging naturally received a lot of attention, but it was still inferior to her. Sister Linging, come with me, Miao Xiaomiao said to them. The two girls nodded slightly. Linging also wanted to see what was different about this girl. She felt that this girl was too noble. Then Wang Qianqian drove. A total of 4 girls were in one car. Wang Ba, Lin Xian Chumeng, and Wang Xian were in the second car. The car began to drive out of Tianhua City. Brother Xian, what do you think that girl's identity is? I feel that her aura is not something that the daughters of big families can have. I feel that her status should be even higher to cultivate such an aura. Chumeng asked. Lin Xian nodded. Yes. Wang Xian added. Besides, if that's the case, she has countless ways to get to Deep Cold Valley. Why would she follow us? I don't understand. Although it feels good to go with the goddess, I still feel nervous. Wang Ba laughed and said, You guys are panicking because you've never seen a woman like her. I'm panicking too, but everyone must have their own reasons. Maybe she's not from China, and the forces she's involved with are not in China. Or maybe she's not that strong and doesn't dare to go to Deep Cold Valley alone. So she wants to find a team to go with her. In any case, there are many such possibilities. If you're really curious, you can ask her. No, I wouldn't dare. I feel embarrassed just looking at her, let alone taking the initiative to talk to her. Chu Meng's face turned red as he spoke. This was Linglong Shui's temperament, which made men feel ashamed and inferior. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was deep in thought. That's right. It was impossible for a powerful expert like her to go to Deep Han Valley. If she could destroy Deep Cold Valley with a wave of her hand, then her target must not be Deep Cold Valley, but them. Did he want to kill them? That wasn't right either. She didn't have to do that. However, Lin Xian could ask her. Lin Xian did not feel that he owed her anything by sleeping with her. If he had not used that obedient spray, he would have died in her hands. Moreover, he was not the one who slept with her. It was this woman who slept with Lin Xian. When the car drove out of the barrier, Lin Xian activated his Eye of Cave Spirit. I knew it. When their car drove into the barrier, his Eye of Cave Spirit saw the fluctuation of spiritual energy released from within. She must have some way to borrow the power of this spiritual energy to avoid being checked by the barrier. Humans could enter and leave the barrier as they pleased, but monsters could not because their bloodlines were completely different. Even if it was a transformed demonic beast, even if a transformed demonic beast could mate with a human and give birth to a human, it was still impossible. However, this Linglong Shui must have some way to avoid it. But what was she trying to do? After more than an hour, the car stopped. Everyone got out of the car and looked at the deep cold valley in front of them in shock. Damn, it's so big now. Lin Xian looked around and saw that the surroundings had turned into a world of ice and snow. The trees were all frozen. The chilliness that hit him in the face was much stronger than before. There were more than 10 cars parked by the side. There were probably many people inside already. Everyone put on their winter clothes and ice spirit pearls. Then, they carried their equipment and walked in. Although Linglong Shui walked with them, she maintained a distance of a few meters from them. Lin Xian hesitated for a moment before approaching her. Bastard! When Miao Xiao Miao and Ling Ying saw Lin Xian going over to strike up a conversation, this word popped up in their minds at the same time. Indeed, there were no good men. Hey, what are you doing here? Lin Xian's tone towards Linglong Shui was not very friendly. After all, this woman wanted to kill him. However, the awkward thing was that he had to confess to her. Lin Xian took a look and saw that her favorability towards him was -20. What the f***ck? Fortunately, it was better than what Lin Xian had expected. He had thought that it would be -100. Linglong Shui frowned. He recognized her? How was that possible? They had only met once, and she was wearing a veil. How could he recognize her? Damned lecher. Linglong Shui's body emitted a murderous aura. I advise you not to attack. Do you remember what I said to you before? You didn't come to human territory just to kill me, right? Linglong Shui secretly released her jade-like hand that was about to attack. If she was not afraid of the things in Lin Xian's phone, Lin Xian would have been dead. Hurry up and give me the things you bought. No. I've been relying on your photos and videos to sleep well these days. TSK. I have to say, it was too dark that night, and I couldn't see clearly. However, it was still pretty clear. It's really good stuff. Lin Xian was speechless. Linglong Shui clenched her fists again. Murderous aura surged. Achoo. Chu Meng could not help but sneeze. Do you guys feel that it's suddenly a lot colder? Chu Meng felt a chill run down his spine. Ling Ying turned around and looked at the two people behind him. No, that coldness just now was murderous aura. As for who it came from, Ling Ying naturally locked onto Linglong Shui. This Lin Xian must be crazy. What did he say to her to make her murderous aura? Ling Ying wanted to help, but she saw that Lin Xian did not panic at all. That murderous aura only lasted for a moment. Ling Ying sighed in relief. However, she felt that there was something wrong with that woman. However, why was Lin Xian able to talk to her so calmly? Ling Ying even felt that Lin Xian did not panic at all. Chapter 249. You think this sovereign doesn't dare to kill you? Linglong Shui said coldly. You don't dare. Lin Xian smirked and took out his phone. In the next moment, his phone appeared in Linglong Shui's hands. Lin Xian, I advise you to give it to me. Even if you destroy it. Do you think I don't have a backup copy? Do you think the others don't have one? Linglong Shui gritted her teeth and angrily threw the phone to Lin Xian. Ding! Threatening a little sister is considered a scumbag's behavior. Scumbag value plus 200,000. Ding! Linglong Shui's favorability towards you -5. Lin Xian. F***ck. Although it felt good to diss her. But what was he going to do about this continuously decreasing favorability? But don't worry. I can guarantee that only I and that girl know about this video. That's her. Linglong Shui glanced at Ling Ying. Lin Xian was shocked. If there were only the two of them, Linglong Shui would dare to kill them. Then, no one would leak this out. In the next moment, Lin Xian maintained his calm and said, I already recognized you. Since the two of us dared to come here, do you think I don't have any confidence? If you have any thoughts of killing the two of us, I advise you to give up. Since you said that only the two of you know, then what other tricks do you have? Linglong Shui was clearly not a kind person. She would not be deceived by Lin Xian. Lin Xian panicked. If he could not say it, he would be in danger. However, he still thought of a way. Then I'll tell you, because I know you're a very strong expert, and I'm a cautious person, so I've already prepared for it. I've set up a time release, and the release time is 2 days later. If you kill me, then I'm sorry. It'll be released automatically 2 days later, and you definitely won't be able to find out where I am and which account released it. Linglong Shui clenched her fist slightly. What a cunning human. Therefore, not only can you not attack me now, but you also have to ensure our safety in the Deep Frost Valley. Linglong Shui. I will definitely kill you. Linglong Shui glared at Lin Xian. I guess you can't. Lin Xian said with a smirk. It's just a matter of moving my fingers. But you don't dare. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. Seeing the anger on Ling Longshue's face, he felt super good. Such an awesome person had actually suffered a loss at his hands. That kind of feeling was self-evident. Ling Longshue then ignored Lin Xian and followed the people in front of her. Also, you're a member of the Shifters clan. What are you doing in human territory? What right do you have to control me? Don't use I. Next time, use I when you talk to me, got it? Ling Longshue clenched her fists. She really couldn't help but want to kill Lin Xian. But she had to hold it in. Ling Longshue didn't say anything. Why did you come to human territory? Lin Xian asked again. He had this Ling Longshue completely under his control. Indeed, Lin Xian, was just like an ant to this Ling Longshue. However, in her eyes, Lin Xian had the most unacceptable weakness. This man had even taken away her chastity. You don't need to know. Of course I need to know. Because you're very dangerous, and you're a member of the Shifters clan. If you don't tell me, do you believe that I'll expose one of the photos to the mainland? You dare. Why wouldn't I dare? Since you want to kill me, why should I be nice to you? Hurry up and tell me. Lin Xian then waved the phone in his hand. Ling Longshue's face was cold. In the end, she still chose to compromise. I said don't call yourself I. It's awkward to hear. I just want to experience the way you humans live. That's it. Ling Longshue nodded slightly. Then why did you come with us? Doesn't experiencing the way you humans live count? Fine, I believe you. Originally, Lin Xian wanted to skip over Ling Longshue and go straight to Ling Ying and the rest, but Lin Xian suddenly remembered that he had a mission with Ling Longshue, and he had to cultivate their relationship. Threatening her wasn't a good idea either. Then can you not kill me? Lin Xian suddenly asked, and even Ling Longshue was slightly stunned. You must die. Lin Xian. Die your sister. You're blaming me for doing it? Who told you to kill me? If you didn't kill me and let me go, would that incident have happened? The atmosphere around them became even colder. I was just protecting myself. Otherwise, I would have died in your hands. You have to think about me from my perspective, right? Then delete the photos. Ling Longshue looked at Lin Xian and said coldly, You won't kill me if I delete them? I won't kill you. TSK, like hell I'll believe you. If you delete them, I won't have anything to use against you. Besides, I still have to rely on the video of you not wearing anything to sleep. You. Ling Longshue swore that she had lived for so long, but she had never been disturbed by someone's words so many times before. Then, do you have a boyfriend? Lin Xian asked. Logically speaking, such a powerful person shouldn't have a boyfriend. What do you want? Why don't you be my woman? Anyway, we've already done it, right? Lin Xian grinned. Achoo. The people in front couldn't help but sneeze. Then they subconsciously rubbed their arms. They hadn't even entered a colder place, so why did it suddenly become cold? Shameless lecher. Ling Longshue said and stopped talking to Lin Xian. The reason why she put down her pride and talked to Lin Xian was to see if Lin Xian would delete the video. Since it was impossible, she gave up on the idea for the time being. As for what he had said to Lin Xian about coming here to experience human life, that was also true. She didn't know what she was thinking in her heart. She had never had such thoughts before. But after Lin Xian, she had been feeling very uneasy recently. That's right, her heart was in a mess. All these years, her heart had never been in a mess. No matter how big the situation was, she was always calm and collected. There were rarely times when her emotions changed. However, because of Lin Xian, her heart had completely changed. She really wanted to kill him, but she didn't know why. But she also wanted to see what kind of life humans lived like. After a few days of hesitation, she finally came. When she came to Tianhua City and saw the scenes of human life, she felt a lot of emotions. She even felt that there was something wrong with such a life. Why did she have to break it? Compared to the life of the Goblin clan, human life was really lively and warm. However, she didn't really like it. She preferred to cultivate in a quiet place with no one around. Chapter 250. Ling Longshui and her younger sister were two void foxes. Before this, they were neutral. To be precise, Ling Longshui was still neutral. However, due to an accident, her mischievous younger sister joined the Myriad Demon Alliance. She became an existence that stood on the opposite side of the human race. Ling Longshui punished her many times, but it was to no avail because her younger sister was too mischievous. The last time she wanted to kill Lin Xian, it was also because Ling Longshui wanted to find an excuse for her sister. She wanted to find a reason that the Myriad Demons Alliance would not blame her for failing the mission. The Void Foxes were indeed strong, but they paled in comparison to the entire Myriad Demons Alliance. She did not expect such an accident to happen. Perhaps she came here to relax her body and mind. Then she met Miao Xiaomiao, and Miao Xiaomiao invited her to go to the Deep Freeze Valley. She agreed. Then she met the bastard that she did not want to see for the rest of her life. Lin Xian followed and walked beside Ling Ying. "Are you done?" Ling Ying asked in a displeased tone. "Yes, I'm done. She doesn't like me." "Bastard. What did you say? Why did she release such a murderous aura?" Ling Ying asked helplessly. Moreover, that murderous aura definitely proved that she was very strong. The number of lives Ling Ying had lost to her hands wasn't small, and the killing intent she unleashed under her extreme rage shouldn't have reached such a level. Therefore, Ling Ying dared to conclude that this mysterious woman was not weak. At the same time, she was definitely not simple. She had never seen a person with such a strong murderous aura. It sent chills down her spine. What if this murderous aura was combined with her aura? Ling Ying even felt that she would not be able to breathe under the pressure. This was a very dangerous person. "It's fine. You just need to know that she will protect us." Ling Ying did not understand why Lin Xian dared to say such words with such confidence. However, since Lin Xian said it, she believed it. "If we go any further, we'll be in the deep cold region. But now, it should be as cold as the extreme cold region, or even higher." Miao Xiaomiao turned around and said to them. Along the way, they also saw many frozen corpses of demonic beasts. These demonic beasts were basically frozen after being killed by martial artists. "Look there." At the edge of the deep frost region, everyone looked over and saw several martial artists who had been frozen into ice sculptures. Naturally, they were deader than dead. They had probably been here for a few days. Perhaps they had experienced the sudden burst of frost while they were here. In addition, they did not have any equipment, and their levels were not high, so they had been frozen to death. "Hey, can you sense what's in Deep Cold Valley?" Lin Xian elbowed Ling Longshui. Ling Longshui. How many people in this world could be so impudent to her? Damn it. Most importantly, she still had to go along with Lin Xian. She had to answer him. When they saw Lin Xian's actions, they were all dumbfounded. Gigi, what was going on? Why did it feel like Lin Xian was very close to Ling Longshui? They were not close, but they had been there before. "There's an extremely strong ice source that caused the burst of frost here," Ling Longshui said calmly to everyone. "Sister, is it a treasure of heaven and earth?" Ling Longshui shook her head slightly. "I'm not sure. The possibility is high, but..." Ling Longshui frowned slightly and said, "There's a demonic beast in the depths that you can't handle." Everyone looked at each other. Miao Xiaomiao's equipment had not detected anything, but she said that there was a very strong demonic beast in the depths. How was that possible? Of course, there was one possibility. She was so strong that her divine sense could cover an extremely far distance. But no one dared to believe it. What kind of strength did she have? "Can you defeat it?" Lin Xian asked. Ling Longshui knew what Lin Xian wanted to do and said, "I won't attack it." Lin Xian also knew what Ling Longshui meant. She was a demonic beast, and the demonic beast was also a demonic beast. How could she attack a demonic beast for a human? "You don't have to kill it. You just have to block it or chase it away," Lin Xian said. Ling Longshui nodded slightly and did not say anything. Lin Xian roughly understood what she meant and said to everyone, "Even if there's danger, she can handle it. We don't have to worry." They really believed him. Sometimes they really believed Lin Xian's words without a doubt. Ling Ying frowned slightly, then pulled Lin Xian behind her and asked, "You know her?" Lin Xian was stunned for a moment. Then the corner of his mouth curled up and said, "If I say that I've slept with her before, would you believe me?" Ling Ying could not help but laugh. "TSK, you can brag all you want. Look at your own character and her temperament. How dare you say something like that?" Lin Xian. F***ck. Ling Ying's words were getting more and more hurtful. "I'll give you one more chance to change your words." Lin Xian chuckled. Ling Ying was stunned for a moment before her face turned red. She mumbled softly, What I meant was, I just don't really believe you. That's all." "That's more like it. Then what's the situation?" "I feel like she's afraid of you." As a girl, Ling Ying was naturally very sensitive. She felt that she had guessed correctly. "Then are you afraid of me?" Lin Xian asked with a smile. "Why would I be afraid of you?" Ling Ying wanted to cry. F***ck. Alright. Sometimes I'm afraid too. Alright. Then what's the reason you're afraid of me?" Lin Xian asked again. Ling Ying's face turned red. She was afraid of Lin Xian? What was there to be afraid of? That bastard was too fierce in that aspect. That was also what she was afraid of. He always used that as an excuse. "What do you think?" "Ha ha ha. Then she's afraid of me for the same reason you're afraid of me." Lin Xian laughed and walked away. T. Even a fool could tell that Linglong Shui was of noble status. Even Ling Ying felt that she was inferior to her. Lin Xian actually said that he had slept with her. How was that possible? However, she did feel that Linglong Shui was afraid of Lin Xian. After entering the deep freeze region, Lin Xian activated his Eye of Cave Spirit. When his Eye of Cave Spirit was activated, he could clearly see the changes in the strength and direction of the surrounding spiritual energy. He knew very well that when all the spiritual energy, the strongest spiritual energy, gathered at one point, that would be the place Lin Xian was looking for. As for what it was, no one knew. However, it was definitely something good. Only Lin Xian would be able to accurately find it. Even Linglong Shui could only roughly determine that it was within a narrow range. She couldn't pinpoint the exact spot. This was the power of the Eye of Cave Spirit. Sounds of battle came from the front. Everyone walked over. This was the deep freeze region. With the Ice Spirit Pearl, they wouldn't feel too much of the cold. In front of them were the cultivators who had arrived before them. As for the demonic beasts they were fighting, they weren't weak. They were at least at the arcane body realm. After all, the cold energy here was comparable to the extreme freeze region from before. "Kill." Miao Xiaomiao looked at Lin Xian and asked. Chapter 251. Lin Xian looked around with his eye of spiritual insight and said, "There's no hurry. We're here to look for treasures, not to kill monsters." Lin Xian wasn't concerned about Linglong Shui's feelings. Although she was from the Devil Clan, her hands were definitely stained with the blood of many Devil Clan members. What did it have to do with her whether others killed them or not? Moreover, the Devil Clan was divided into many different clans. They were different from humans, so it had nothing to do with her. Linglong Shui wouldn't attack a Devil Clan member for no reason. "Let's go this way." Lin Xian pointed and said. There were a total of 3 paths in front of them. The path in front of them was the widest one, which was also the path they took last time. However, Lin Xian could see with his eye of spiritual insight that the smallest path on the left had the densest concentration of spiritual energy. Linglong Shui was also slightly surprised. Naturally, she could sense the minute changes in spiritual energy. She was even more accurate than Miao Xiaomiao's device. The path that Lin Xian pointed to was also the path with the densest concentration of spiritual energy. Guess. In her opinion, it should be a guess. Okay. Everyone listened to Lin Xian. At a time like this, they needed someone to make a choice for them. That person was also their backbone because no one knew where to go. Everyone had their own opinions, so they needed someone to stand out and follow their opinions. Unknowingly, everyone placed the role of the backbone on Lin Xian. Naturally, many people had walked this path before. There were basically no devil beasts in front of them, because they had all been killed by others. After about 20 minutes, Lin Xian and the rest saw the group of people in front of them. They were leaning against the ice wall and resting. Everyone. Those people were more or less injured. Then they called out to Lin Xian and the rest. What's the matter? Lin Xian looked at them. If we continue forward, we'll reach the expanded area of extreme cold. It's too dangerous. I advise everyone not to go there. Did anyone go there? Lin Xian asked. Yes, but I think it's not good. Thanks a lot. The eye of the cave spirit had seen that the stronger spiritual energy was in the deeper regions. They could only go deeper. Lin Xian had to go in as well. Are you still going? Lin Xian looked at Miao Xiao Miao and the rest. Of course. We have the ice spirit pearl. What are we afraid of? Miao Xiao Miao said. All right. Then the group continued to rush into the depths. Indeed, there weren't many demonic beasts along the way. They had all been cleaned up. Miao Xiao Miao's information was also correct. The sudden cold here had caused many demonic beasts to be unable to survive. The stronger demonic beasts had not arrived yet, so there weren't many demonic beasts here. They had been killed by the people in front of them, so it was normal that they did not encounter many of them. Sister Miao, the deep freeze spirit crystal. Chu Meng pointed upwards. The other deep frost spirit crystals along the way had probably been taken away by others, but they couldn't get the deep frost spirit crystals above them, so they could only leave them there. But Miao Xiao Miao was different. Whoosh! Her figure flew up into the air. So many. Wang Ba sighed. He wanted to go up and take them, but he couldn't. A shadow appeared behind Lin Xian, and then his figure flew up as well. Beside him, Linging was stunned. A flying spirit artifact. She felt that this flying spirit artifact was very special, but she couldn't say what it was. Where did this Lin Xian get so many things from? Linging was curious. She was very clear about Lin Xian's background. These things were very difficult to buy on the market. She was the one who gave Lin Xian his interspatial ring, not to mention this kind of rare flying spirit artifact. He also had many earth-rank martial skills. Even when her house was frozen, Linging found out from Linya that it was Lin Xian who gave her a very powerful bead. She really didn't understand where Lin Xian got so many things, and the attribute genetic medicine from before. She felt that Lin Xian was very mysterious, as if he had his own mysterious treasure trove. She had to admit that girls were indeed very meticulous. Ling Ying's guess was almost right. You can fly too. Miao Xiao Miao looked at Lin Xian with a surprised expression. Give me a glove. I'll help you pick some up, hurry up. The royal wings consumed Lin Xian's spiritual power. This was very special. It was as if this was Lin Xian's own wings, and flying consumed his own spiritual power. Luckily, Lin Xian could easily control it the first time he used it, and it didn't consume much spiritual power. 3 minutes later, the two of them flew down one after the other. The harvest was also very good. Miao Xiao Miao put the deep freeze spirit crystal into her interspatial ring. Someone's here. Linging frowned and stared ahead. In front of her, more than 10 figures were rushing over. Looking at their appearance, they were extremely flustered. Brother, what's going on inside? Lin Xian stopped one of them and asked. Don't go in. There was another burst of cold energy just now. I saw with my own eyes that several arcane body stage experts were instantly sealed in ice. They must be dead for sure. I reckon that the cold energy will soon spread to this place. It's too scary. I'm afraid only arcane body cultivators can go in and take a look. The man sighed and said, but we've still profited a little. We got quite a lot of deep freeze spirit crystals. Is there anyone inside? Of course, there are some people with ice spirit pearls. They can stay inside, but they have to be at least arcane body 5 stars to be able to stay inside. Everyone looked at each other. Wang Xian, Chu Meng, don't go in. Miao Xiao Miao said to the two of them. Sister Miao, we've already gotten enough deep freeze spirit crystals. Are you sure you want to go in? Chu Meng swallowed his saliva and asked. Go in. Since you're here, your cultivation is high enough, and you have ice spirit pearls, then go in. Swoosh, suddenly, a wave of cold energy hit them in the face and froze some parts of their bodies. The surrounding ice layer thickened a little. Damn! Lin Xian felt that if the ice spirit pearls did not absorb the cold energy instantly, he would have been injured. Wang Ba and the rest released their energy to block the cold energy for Chu Meng and Wang Xian. No. How can this energy be so strong? even with ice spirit pearls, but Meow Xiao Meow felt that something was wrong. Too strong. They hadn't even entered the extreme cold region yet, but they were already unable to withstand the corrosion of this burst of cold energy. Lin Xian was at arcane body 7 stars. He was stronger than Meow Xiao Meow and Wang Ba. Even he felt that the cold energy was a little abnormal, let alone them. You guys go out. I'll go in with this goddess sister. Lin Xian said to them. I'll go with you. Ling Ying stood beside Lin Xian without hesitation. My strength is not bad, I'll go too. Xiao Miao, you guys go first. Wang Qianqian said to them. Okay, if you really can't do it, just back out. There's no need to force it. Meow Xiao Meow then passed the ice spirit pearls on her to Lin Xian. The others also gave them ice spirit pearls. The more ice spirit pearls there were, the more cold energy they could absorb. Chapter 252. Meow Xiao Meow was a 3-star arcane body cultivator, so she could only bid farewell to this operation and not go any further. Of the 4 people who went in, the weakest was Lin Xian, but he was at least a 7-star arcane body cultivator. The more ice spirit pearls one had, the better one's resistance to the cold. They gave the ice spirit pearls to Lin Xian, so the 4 of them could not stay here any longer. We'll see if we can find more deep freeze spirit crystals outside. The temperature is too low, and the computers can't be used, so we can't help you much. If you encounter any danger inside, don't force yourself. Treasures are not as important as everyone's safety. Meow Xiao Meow said to them. Little girl, you're quite cool. Lin Xian smiled and scratched Meow Xiao Meow's nose, causing her to take 2 steps back in embarrassment. Call me Sister Meow. Alright, we're going in. Normally, Lin Xian would not dare to go in. Even with Ling Ying and Wang Qianqian, the 2 arcane heaven cultivators, they would not be able to go in. However, there was Linglong Shui. She really wanted to kill Lin Xian, but she did not dare to. At least, she had to make sure that Lin Xian's words were false, or that he had absolute confidence. For a woman, especially such a noble one, her reputation was extremely important to her. Back then, when Lin Xian had taken her virginity, if not for her strong mental state, she would have probably ended her life, not to mention Lin Xian's sinister and vicious threat. Therefore, she had no choice but to compromise. At least for now. Very unhappy. Killing him only needed to move a finger, no even a thought, but she could not do it. Then the 4 of them walked forward together. In less than 5 minutes, they entered the extreme cold area. Damn! The temperature in this extreme cold area. The moment they stepped in, Lin Xian's hair froze. Fortunately, his body was fine. The other 3 were fine. After all, the weakest was still a arcane heaven cultivator. Are you okay? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian worriedly. I'm fine. I'm just Ling Ying. Bastard. Damn. Why are you scolding me? I said my hair froze. What do you think? Whoosh. An ice crystal suddenly shot towards Lin Xian. In that instant, no, before that, Linglong Shui had already sensed it. With a slight flick of her hand, a stream of energy shot out and shattered the ice crystal. Damn. Lin Xian was shocked. What's going on? They almost died. Ling Ying and Wang Qianqian finally reacted. It wasn't that their reactions were slow, but the speed of the ice crystals was simply too fast. Fortunately, they were with Shui was heaven cultivator, was Yen was spirit, was heaven. Lin Xian looked ahead and saw a white and blue bat flying above them. Linglong Shui saved him. Lin Xian glanced at Linglong Shui, who was standing beside him. The noble and cold goddess stood there without much expression on her face. She didn't want to save Lin Xian. If he died, she wouldn't mind. But if he died, she wouldn't be able to get rid of the time release. She would be seen by the whole world. Linglong Shui didn't want to see that happen. So, she had to save Lin Xian. Lin Xian's spirit heaven was proud. Wahahaha. To be able to trick such a powerful and honorable goddess into a daze. This kind of feeling was really King awesome. That's an ice crystal bat. I'm afraid it just flew here. Ling Ying frowned when she saw the ice crystal bat. Can you beat it? Arcane Heaven Level 4. We can try. Ling Ying and Wang Qianqian rushed forward. Give me your hand. Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator extended his hand to Linglong Shui. What are you doing? Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator frowned and turned to look at Lin Xian. Just give it to me. Get lost. Pervert. Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator. Damn it. Is it so hard to take advantage of her? Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator extended his hand and grabbed her soft hand. He had to admit, this goddess hand was really comfortable. Ding. Taking advantage of a big sister. Scumbag value plus 100,000. It wasn't that Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator was perverted. He had to think of a way to develop a relationship with Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator. Although developing a relationship with her was as difficult as ascending the heavens, if he didn't complete the quest, he would have to pay the price of leveling up to 0. So, sometimes he had to do something extreme, even if he knew that this woman was extremely noble and powerful. But he still had to do it. Perhaps the only advantage was that Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator had slept with her before. That was probably his advantage. But if Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator didn't give it a try and allowed things to develop normally, how could he complete the quest? By then, wouldn't his level be leveled up to 0? Taking the initiative to hold her hand was indeed extreme. But Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator was sure that as long as his life wasn't in danger, it would be fine. This was also Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator's advantage. She didn't dare to touch him. Bang! In the next second, Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator was sent flying. Based on his speed, Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator would probably die if he hit the wall. But just as he was about to hit the wall, Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator stopped. Damn! So ruthless. Clearly, Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator wanted to kill Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator at that moment. He actually went so far as to hold her hand. But she held back and didn't kill Lin Xian. Shameless lecher. Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator. Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator steadied himself and looked at the battle not far away. Although there was a huge difference in their levels, Ling Ying's spirit heaven cultivator wasn't someone to be trifled with. Seeing that there was no danger, Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator walked towards Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator. What? You won't even let me hold your hand? It's not like I haven't touched it before. Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator teased. I advise you not to push your luck. Otherwise, don't blame me for perishing together with you. Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator said coldly. Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator shrugged his shoulders and said, It's useless even if we perish together. Even if you die, although you won't be able to see the photos and videos, these things will definitely be talked about by the world. After all, it's such a beautiful picture of a goddess. Maybe, if reincarnation exists in this world, you might be able to see these treasures when you return. Also, Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator smirked, and a listening spray appeared in his hand. This wasn't listening spray powder. It was just listening spray. It was something from Second Shopping Center. But when Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator saw this thing, she subconsciously took a step back. She was obviously afraid of this thing. Also, you better listen to me obediently. Otherwise, I have ways to create more material for you. Lin Xian's spirit heaven cultivator threatened. Of course, this was all fake, but it was really effective against Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator. Once bitten, twice shy. This listening spray was probably the thing that Linglong Shui's spirit heaven cultivator feared the most. There was no other. She couldn't understand what this thing was. It could even deceive her mind. Chapter 253. What Lin Xian was doing now was very simple. He wanted to leave a deep impression on Linglong Shui. Although it was impossible to erase this impression, Lin Xian wanted to increase it. Therefore, he had been trying to find a sense of existence in front of her. This sense of existence, whether good or bad, would definitely be useful. Even if it decreased her favorability, in her mind, as long as Lin Xian left a deep enough impression, Lin Xian believed that it was good news. Ding! Linglong Shui's favorability towards you -5. Lin Xian. Probably because she was annoyed by Lin Xian, Ling Longshue's favorability towards him decreased again. Although Lin Xian's idea was good, when he heard that her favorability had decreased, he would always break down. Heavens! This woman was too difficult to deal with. She was indeed not ordinary. Normally, Ling Longshue would not talk as much as she did if there was no one around her. She was really annoyed by Lin Xian. Hey, are you going to talk or not? Ling Longshue. Don't you know that those above the heavenly venerable stage are forbidden from participating in battles? Ling Longshue looked coldly at Lin Xian and said. She was so angry. She had never been so angry before. Was this man purposely making her angry? Don't think that I don't know that those above the heavenly venerable stage are forbidden from fighting against the human race and the myriad demon alliance. You are neutral. Then fighting for the human race is not the same as fighting for the human race. Isn't that against the rules? Idiot. Ling Longshue scolded. Lin Xian. F***ck. She actually scolded him. Ling Longshue would never scold anyone, but she was really angered by Lin Xian. Ding. Ling Longshue's favorability towards you +1. Lin Xian. What the hell? Increase favorability? What was this woman trying to do? How could he increase her favorability in such a situation? Ling Longshue's impression of Lin Xian had increased by 1 point. She couldn't feel it herself. She only said that she had been suppressed and bullied by Lin Xian for a long time. She couldn't even retaliate. After she scolded him and saw Lin Xian's frozen expression, she felt very satisfied. At this moment, Ling Ying and Wang Qianqian landed beside them, dressed delicately. Are you hurt? Lin Xian glanced at Ling Ying. You can just chat with your fairy sister. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Ling Longshue ignored him and walked straight ahead. Ding! You made your girlfriend jealous. Scumbag value +100,000. Lin Xian held back his laughter. This Ling Ying was jealous. You're jealous? No, why would I be jealous of you? Che. Ling Ying said stubbornly. That's right, she was jealous. Very unhappy. She and Wang Qianqian were fighting in front, and this Lin Xian was flirting with the fairy sister behind them. Unhappy. Extremely unhappy. You're jealous. Lin Xian then looked at Ling Ying with a smile. Hurry up and walk forward. Your fairy sister is already in front. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. You're not blaming me? How would I dare to blame you, my dear young Master Lin? You're still blaming me, Lin Xian said with grievance. Wang Qianqian revealed a stunned expression. Were they really boyfriend and girlfriend? It felt very similar. Then, she did not care anymore and followed Ling Longshue forward. Alright, there's no more. The frost here might erupt again. Let's continue forward. Ling Ying said to Lin Xian and walked forward. Lin Xian smiled and followed. Corpses gradually appeared in front of them. The corpses looked like they were killed by demonic beasts, and then frozen. If it was just them alone, perhaps things would have turned out the same way in the end. Which way should we go? The three beauties in front of them stopped. Ling Ying turned around and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian looked at the 5 forks in front of him, and opened his eye of cave spirit. Go straight. Ling Longshue's eyes lit up. He made the right choice again. About 10 minutes later, a group of people rushed back from the depths of the forest. Don't go in. There's an extremely strong demonic beast inside. Many people died in its hands. A middle-aged man warned Lin Xian as he ran. Ling Ying walked towards Lin Xian and said, Let's go back. At this distance, your level is already unable to withstand the frost. Wang Qianqian also walked over and said, Yeah, I sensed the strength of the people who just ran back. They're all mysterious heaven realm 3 stars and above. Ling Ying, and I probably won't be able to reach the depths. The frost is much stronger than we imagined. Even with a few ice spirit pearls, it's still not enough. If we came here 2 days ago, we might have a chance. Lin Xian hesitated. They were already here. Was it possible for him to not go in? Impossible. If it was just them, Lin Xian would have given up. However, Ling Longshue was here. When Lin Xian triggered the mission, it said that his actions were the actions of a gigolo. Then, he would be the gigolo. You guys go back. I'll go in with this big sister goddess. Ling Longshue didn't have any reaction. It didn't matter whether she went in or not. She only came here to experience the life of a human. She wasn't interested in what was inside. At her level, the things she wanted were too few. The things here might be incomparably tempting to others, but to her, they weren't that tempting. This was an existence of the absolute ethereal stage. Ling Ying didn't know what to say to Lin Xian. The two of them, who were at the mysterious heaven realm, didn't want to go in, but Lin Xian, who was at the 7 stars mysterious body realm, wanted to go in? Don't worry, you should know me. Since I dared to say it, it means that I have the confidence. Lin Xian patted Ling Ying's shoulder lightly and said softly. Lin Xian's confidence. Ling Ying glanced at the noble Linglong Shui, who was sizing up the surrounding ice walls. She could see that Lin Xian and she probably knew each other before, but they weren't very close. However, she was afraid of Lin Xian. Ling Ying couldn't tell how powerful she was. Maybe Lin Xian knew, or maybe she was Lin Xian's confidence. Since Lin Xian said so, Ling Ying could only choose to believe him. Alright, let's go back first. Be careful. Ling Ying nodded at Lin Xian. This was what Lin Xian liked about Ling Ying. She and Lin Yu were a little similar. They wouldn't ask too much. They would ask, but they wouldn't ask. They chose to believe in Lin Xian more. It was just that sometimes Lin Xian would do things that made Ling Ying not believe in him. It was too crazy. For example, that time in Linfeng City, Ling Ying was angered half to death. But in the end, she still chose to respect Lin Xian's decision. She felt that it wasn't safe. Leaving according to her own words wasn't what Lin Xian wanted. Sigh. Wang Qianqian looked at Ling Ying, and then looked at Lin Xian, then said, "Then you have to be careful." Okay. Then, Wang Qianqian also went back. They didn't expect that they would end up playing the role of soy sauce. Chapter 254. Lin Xian walked towards Linglong Shui and said, "Give me a buff." Linglong Shui. What? I can't withstand the cold energy inside, but you can make me withstand it. Give me a buff. Linglong Shui then understood what Lin Xian meant. Lin Xian thought that it would be easy for a great void stage cultivator to let him, an arcane body stage cultivator, endure the cold energy inside. Since you don't have the ability, don't try to be brave. Linglong Shui said coldly. Don't I have you? My dear baby. Lin Xian grinned. Boom! A force rushed past Lin Xian's ear. And then a hole of more than 10 meters was directly pierced through the several hundred meters tall mountain wall. If this force was used to create a tunnel, it would be too fast. Gigi. This strong person was simply doing whatever she wanted. If you dare to say another word, this sovereign will take your life. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh in his heart. She was originally an incomparably noble, cold, and aloof woman. But because of Lin Xian, she had actually fallen to the point of being ordered around by him. His orders were even flirtatious. To Lin Xian, it was indeed not easy for her to endure until now. Anyone who dared to touch her taboo would be dead for sure. Lin Xian also had to give her some face, so he smiled and said, Okay, I won't say any more. Give me a buff then. Then, Linglong Shui waved her arm coldly, and Lin Xian felt a wave of heat radiating from his body. This was the heat formed by the condensation of spiritual energy. Originally, his entire body was cold, but now it instantly warmed up. If I had known, I would have let you give me a buff earlier. Lin Xian smiled and mumbled. Linglong Shui ignored Lin Xian and walked inside. To be honest, she might not be interested in the things here, but she was also very curious. Moreover, she might not be interested. The purity of this cold energy was very high, and it was continuously erupting. The power that was erupting now was very weak in Linglong Shui's eyes, but it didn't mean that it would be weak in the future. Therefore, the spiritual treasure of heaven and earth hidden here might be something good. But she knew that even if it was good, it would probably belong to Lin Xian. How infuriating. She swore that if she could get rid of Lin Xian's hold on her, she would use the cruelest method to sacrifice Lin Xian. That was the only way to vent the hatred in her heart. Xiaoling Long, do you think you have a way to stop the 10,000 Demon Alliance's invasion of Tian City? Lin Xian suddenly asked. Linglong Shui's brows furrowed. He actually called, addressed her. She really didn't want to say a word to Lin Xian. Seeing that Ling Longshui ignored him, Lin Xian was unhappy. Hey, when people talk to you, you should answer them. This is the most basic courtesy, do you understand? Scram. Lin Xian. All right. Then Lin Xian took out the obedient spray. Ling Longshui. Ka. She clenched her fists tightly and kept reminding herself that she couldn't kill him. Killing him now wouldn't do her any good. No. Ling Longshui squeezed out the word through gritted teeth. You can't even do it despite being so strong? Lin Xian asked as he put away the obedient spray. In the 10,000 Demon Alliance, there are countless great Void Realm cultivators. There are even Heavenly Dao Realm cultivators. How can I stop them? Lin Xian. So strong. Thankfully, those above the Heavenly Venerable Realm aren't allowed to participate in the battle. Lin Xian was secretly horrified. He had to raise his strength as soon as possible. The two of them continued walking. Lin Xian constantly tried to strike up a conversation with Ling Longshui. Well, Xiao Linglong, if you don't mind, why don't you stay at my place? Ling Longshui fell silent. I'm serious. I'll cook for you. Don't you want to try a human's life? Tell me. We both know that a human's life is mostly about daily necessities. Although it's a little monotonous, it's actually more interesting. Perhaps you'll like such a life. If he could trick Ling Longshui into staying with him for the time being, then he would have too many opportunities to cultivate feelings with her. Lecher. Ling Longshui said coldly. Lin Xian. F***K. He was kind enough to let her have a place to stay in Tianhua City, without spending any money, but she didn't appreciate it. It's true. I cook very well. Braised pork, corn pork rib soup, cola chicken wings, and seafood noodles. Add some prawn meat and crab roe on top. TSK. It's too fragrant. Ling Longshui frowned slightly. What's that? Lin Xian. Don't tell me you haven't eaten it before? Ling Longshui turned her head to the side without saying a word. She had eaten fruits and dew since she was young. Occasionally, she would catch a few wild animals and roast them. When her realm was high, she basically didn't need to eat anymore. She relied on cultivation for sustenance. Most fey beasts in human form lived a life not much different from humans. They would have servants cook, but it was definitely not as good as what humans cooked. That was because they didn't know how to make condiments. Even if they did, they were rubbish. TSK. Your life isn't fun at all. When we go back this time, if you don't want to, you don't have to come home with me. I'll bring you to a hotel to get a room and eat something delicious. You can try the delicacies of our human world. If you like, I'll cook for you because my cooking is better. Lin Xian looked at Ling Longshui and said with a smile, you're up to no good. Hey, if you say that, I'm really going to get angry. I'm really helping you. You said you wanted to experience the life of a human, and you and I have that kind of relationship. If I don't help you, who will? Ling Longshui frowned slightly. You've never eaten the delicacies of the human world. Wait a moment. Then, Lin Xian took out a lollipop from his spatial ring. This was snatched from Ling Ying. Although it was a very ordinary snack, Ling Longshui had never eaten it before. It should be able to make her eyes light up. Here. Lin Xian handed the lollipop to Ling Longshui. Ling Longshui glanced at it and walked straight ahead. Hey, have some manners. This is a very common snack in our human world. It's called a lollipop. Many girls like to eat it. That girl in black just now was eating this the whole time. Didn't you see? Ling Longshui stopped. She wasn't sure if it was something bad, but after thinking about it carefully, the girl just now seemed to be eating this too, right? Lin Xian peeled the lollipop and handed it to her. Try it. Although it's a very ordinary snack, it's the first step. I'll let you experience the life of a human. Take it. Ling Longshui looked at the lollipop and didn't move. Sigh, women are so troublesome. Lin Xian directly stuffed the lollipop into her mouth. Chapter 255. Ling Longshui took a few steps back and quickly took out the lollipop. She put her tongue in her mouth and tasted it. It was sweet and strawberry flavored. At that moment, she felt that this was Lin Xian's scheme. It must have been something that made her delirious. What are you doing? Eat it. Lin Xian looked at her and said. Then Linglong Shui put the lollipop in her mouth. She got used to the taste. She could tell whether it was harmful or not. This was indeed an ordinary snack. How is it? How does it taste? Lin Xian asked with a smile. I've never eaten it before. Ding. Linglong Shui's favorability towards you +1. How is it? Linglong Shui nodded slightly. It's okay. This is just a very ordinary snack in our human world. If you think it's not bad, there are countless more. There will be all kinds of delicacies that you like more. Do you believe me now? Crunch. Lin Xian. I don't have any more. Linglong Shui took out the lollipop and said softly. I don't have any more either. If you want to eat, I'll take you to eat more when we get back. No need. Linglong Shui seemed to have realized that she had lost her composure. Then, she recovered her noble and cold temperament and said coldly. They were enemies. She actually didn't have any hostility towards Lin Xian. Damn it. It must be a scheme. Lin Xian. This woman's change was too great. Alright. You can do whatever you want. In any case, Lin Xian felt that her change was a good sign. Moreover, her favorability towards him increased. Developing feelings with this kind of girl must be the most difficult thing in the world. It wasn't something that could be done overnight. Moreover, she hated him so much. But Lin Xian was confident. Although she was cold and noble, she did not have much experience. She did not know much about the human world. As long as Lin Xian could pique her interest, then it would be easy to get her. First of all, human food. He could tell that she really liked lollipops. Furthermore, Lin Xian even felt that sometimes she was actually a little naive and cute. He didn't know if it was an illusion or something else. But the lollipop was just a very, very ordinary thing. There were even better things. The two of them continued to walk forward. With the power that Linglong Shui had given to Lin Xian, he was no different from the outside world. He was not affected at all. Can you take off your veil? No. I want to see you. Then, Lin Xian felt the killing intent erupting from her body. Fine, fine, fine. I won't take it off. I won't take it off. Another 30 minutes passed. Normally speaking, the cold in this place should have reached an unimaginable level. However, Lin Xian was completely fine. Plop. A person's figure fell at a bend in front of them. He stretched out his hand weakly. After he stopped breathing, his body was instantly frozen into an ice sculpture. Then, a huge claw slammed down on that person's body and smashed it into pieces. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. His eye of cave spirit could see that all the cold energy was gathered in front of them. As for where it was, he was not sure. But it must be the place where they had to turn. This demonic beast, slowly, the demonic beast appeared in front of the two of them. Roar! The demonic beast let out a roar. The aura that rushed towards them made Lin Xian feel suffocated. In the next second, he felt completely comfortable, because Linglong Shui had released her power to help Lin Xian block the aura. At this moment, Lin Xian actually felt a little touched. If Linglong Shui had sincerely blocked the aura for him, then it would be great. Unfortunately, it was not, because Linglong Shui had to protect Lin Xian's life. In the next instant, Linglong Shui's slender body exploded with power. The huge demonic beast that was 5 to 6 meters in front of them instantly prostrated itself on the ground. The aura from before was gone. Scram! Linglong Shui shouted, and the demonic beast quickly ran away. Is this the powerful demonic beast that you mentioned before? So trashy. That's only for you guys. Also, this one is not. Linglong Shui finished speaking and walked over. When will I be able to speak so pretentiously? Lin Xian shook his head and followed behind her. After turning that bend, there was an endless path in front of them. This deep cold valley is much bigger than I thought. Lin Xian muttered to himself in surprise. He did not have to worry about being disturbed by the cold energy here. Nor did he have to worry about the demonic beasts. All he had to do was find that place. Half an hour later, Lin Xian and Linglong Shui had basically reached the deepest part of Deep Cold Valley. The degree of coldness here was not something a cultivator could endure. Under normal circumstances, even the mysterious heaven realm, would be frozen in an instant. The person they saw just now was probably the one who had traveled the furthest out of the group. The others were either dead or had run away. Humans scram. A deep voice suddenly came from the void. Then, a figure descended from the sky and landed in front of them. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. This was a demonic beast that had cultivated to a human form. No wonder Linglong Shui said it was strong. Luckily they did not come over. Luckily Linglong Shui was here. His gaze swept past Lin Xian and landed on Linglong Shui's delicate body. His eyes radiated lust. The burly man licked his lips and snickered. What an elegant beauty! You shall become my wife. As he spoke, he walked over and reached out to Linglong Shui. It was unclear whether he wanted to touch her face or take off her veil. Lin Xian shook his head. Wasn't this courting death? Whoosh! They did not even see Linglong Shui make a move. The man's outstretched hand was separated from his body and fell to the ground. The blood that spurted out was supposed to splatter onto them, but it stopped in front of them and shot towards the man like a bullet. Ah! The man let out a blood-curdling scream, and then he staggered backwards. Impudent person, you're a disgrace to the demonic beasts. Linglong Shui was enraged. My lord, please spare my life. The burly man hurriedly knelt in front of her and begged for mercy. Indeed, strength was everything. Linglong Shui slowly raised her hand and lifted the man's body into the air. Then, Linglong Shui walked past him with Lin Xian following behind. A few seconds later, he felt a wave of spiritual energy. When he turned around, he saw the man's body being torn apart by the air. Gulp! Lin Xian swallowed a mouthful of saliva. So King ruthless. It was as if she was venting all her resentment towards him on him. I say, Xiao Linglong, didn't you say that you wouldn't lay a hand on the demonic beasts? You cut off one of his arms, and even let him die like this. You went back on your words. Lin Xian muttered behind them. Chapter 256. Linglong Shui walked forward calmly and said coldly, That's because he had a death wish. Lin Xian shrugged behind her. As expected, one could do whatever they wanted with power. Death wish. That's right, death wish. If that person had moved aside, or even attacked them, Linglong Shui would not have killed him, because it was within reason. However, he had coveted Linglong Shui, which naturally angered Linglong Shui. That was why she had to kill him. Lin Xian was secretly speechless. This Linglong Shui was the kind of person who would kill without even blinking her eyes. Regardless of what cultivation realm she killed, it was as if she was casually crushing an ant. He was actually able to suppress such a woman all this time. He really admired himself. Lin Xian followed her. With the power that Linglong Shui had given him, no matter how strong the cold energy was, it did not matter anymore. I wonder if anyone has been here before. Lin Xian looked ahead. There were almost no signs of human activity. Thinking about it, someone must have been here in the past few days. After all, there were many powerful people in Tianhua City and the surrounding cities. They could still make it here. He just did not know if anyone had been here in the past few days, when the cold was erupting in Deep Cold Valley. In any case, those people definitely could not have made it here. The end of Deep Cold Valley was right ahead. This place was very big. There were even stairs of ice that could be climbed to the top. However, this was not important anymore. Lin Xian's eye of spiritual insight saw the spiritual power and cold energy of heaven and earth converging in one place. Linglong Shui looked around. She could feel that the cold energy here was even stronger, but she could not pinpoint a specific point. Looking at the situation, the spiritual treasure of heaven and earth must be buried under the ice. No one knew exactly where it was. Whoosh! A huge figure landed on the ground from the sky. The moment it landed, it was as if there was an earthquake. Lin Xian's jaw dropped as he stared at the giant before him. This was a humanoid monster that looked like it was made of ice. It was more than 10 meters tall and looked very scary. It felt like a lifeless machine, but Lin Xian felt that it was alive. This monster was like an ice monster that only existed in online games. Why would such a monster appear on planet Aqua Blue? To be precise, was this a monster? Boom! The demonic beast threw a punch at Lin Xian, shaking the heavens and earth in an instant. Lin Xian used the power of instant shadow to dodge the attack, and appeared behind Linglong Shui. What a sense of security! Ding! Hiding behind a big sister in the face of danger is considered a scumbag. Scumbag value plus 1 million. Lin Xian. No, he did hide. But he dodged it because the girl was stronger than him. Did that count? Even though he received 1,000,000 points, he still was not happy. What kind of monster is this? Lin Xian asked Linglong Shui from behind. Ice that contains a lot of heaven and earth spiritual energy has given birth to life. Over time, it slowly became a special life form. It is very rare on the continent, but it exists. After saying that, Linglong Shui waved her hand, and the giant monster disappeared in front of them. Did you kill it? Lin Xian asked. Linglong Shui shook her head slightly. I exiled it to a place more suitable for it. This thing should be the one that Linglong Shui said they could not deal with. Then, Lin Xian released his Eye of Cave Spirit, and went to the place where all the cold energy and heaven and earth spiritual energy gathered. Linglong Shui's voice sounded. The heaven and earth spiritual energy here is the strongest, but it is difficult to find the target. Let's go back. Just as she finished speaking, her beautiful eyes focused because she saw Lin Xian disappear in front of the ice wall in front of her. More accurately, it was as if he was sucked in. A space magic circle? Linglong Shui stood where Lin Xian was, and slowly reached out her hand to touch it, feeling the space that she was most familiar with. She did not care about Lin Xian, but if Lin Xian died inside, then wouldn't the things that he automatically released be? Linglong Shui opened her beautiful eyes, and revealed a slightly surprised expression. This space magic circle did exist, but she needed to solve it to open it, and let her enter. Through this space magic circle, she already knew how extraordinary it was, and how powerful the person who set this space magic circle was. How did Lin Xian trigger it and enter? Plop. Lin Xian felt himself fall heavily, then covered his head and sucked in a breath of cold air. F***CK. What's going on? Lin Xian shook his head, then opened his eyes and looked around. Damn, I'm in an ice mountain? Lin Xian looked at his surroundings in surprise. He was clearly in the middle of a huge iceberg or perhaps underneath it. In any case, the space above the boulder was huge. The top was sealed, and the back was also the end. He could only walk forward. The light was released by the various beautiful crystals inside, which lit up the space. Lin Xian did not know how cold it was, because Linglong Shui's power was still in his body, but he felt that the cold here was several times higher than outside. How did I come here? Lin Xian stood up and lowered his head to think. He only remembered seeing something strange with his Eye of Cave Spirit. When Lin Xian walked over, he felt that the spiritual energy fluctuations were very strange. Then he stretched his hand to feel it. Then his hand seemed to be sucked in by something. And in the next moment, he was here. But this was probably good news, because this must be a place that humans had not discovered before. This should still be the Deep Cold Valley. It's just a special place that no one has been to or discovered before. The only way to enter this place is probably through the teleportation formation outside. Perhaps it's inside the huge ice mountain, or perhaps it's underneath the deep cold valley. Lin Xian looked up, and there was ice above his head, as if he had hollowed out the inside of a mountain. The possibility of it being underground was not high. Lin Xian knew that there was a flowing water underground. But if there was a flowing water underground, would there be another possibility? He did not know where the oxygen came from, but the only special thing about this place was the terrifying cold. Although it had no effect on Lin Xian, he could feel it. Just by looking at the ice, he knew that it was much colder than the outside world. In front of him, there was a white cold air spreading around. Then it must be even colder. Whoosh! Suddenly, a strong wave of cold energy exploded in front of him like a shockwave. Lin Xian quickly blocked it. With Linglong Shui's power, he only flew out and smashed into the ice wall behind him, but was not affected by the cold energy. This should be the source of the cold energy in Deep Cold Valley. It's right in front. Lin Xian looked up. Chapter 257. Whoosh! Ling Longshue's elegant and perfect figure appeared in front of Lin Xian. Her first reaction was to look around. Then she turned to look at Lin Xian, who had just gotten up. I knew you wouldn't leave me alone. Hee, I love you. Lin Xian grinned at Ling Longshue. Whoosh! A gust of wind directly cut off a strand of hair on Lin Xian's head. Say another word, and the next thing I cut off will be your head. Lin Xian shook his head inwardly. Women change so much. Then Lin Xian came to her side and asked, Is this still Deep Cold Valley? This place should be hundreds of meters below Deep Cold Valley. Lin Xian. He had guessed that it was underground, but it was hundreds of meters below ground. What on earth was this for? Ling Longshue glanced at the surroundings and said, This place was created by someone. Man-made? Lin Xian frowned. Generally speaking, heavenly treasures were born on their own, or formed through the nourishment of heaven and earth's spiritual energy over time. During this period, no one would discover them. However, this place was man-made. That meant that even if there were heavenly treasures here, they already had an owner. Moreover, it could be very dangerous. Ling Longshue stretched out her slender hand and felt the cold energy slightly. She said coldly, The strength of the cold energy is enough to instantly freeze an advanced Thunder Tribulation Realm cultivator and kill him instantly. The cold energy is still rising. Lin Xian could not sense how strong the cold energy was because he had Ling Longshue's power. If he did, it meant that he had already turned into an ice sculpture. He would not have the chance to sense it again. However, when Ling Longshue said this, Lin Xian was even more shocked. The cold energy could instantly freeze an advanced Thunder Tribulation Realm cultivator, and was still rising. This meant that it would not be long before an existence like the Law Realm could be instantly frozen by this cold energy. What kind of power was this? Ling Longshue frowned slightly. She realized that she had come to the right place. Even in her knowledge, there were very few treasures in the world that could release such a strong cold power. Furthermore, they were definitely not weak. This was not even the limit of heavenly treasures. You should be able to withstand it when you're at the virtualization realm, right? Lin Xian asked. Ling Longshue did not answer Lin Xian. Instead, she walked straight ahead. F***CK. Lin Xian stared at Ling Longshue's delicate body. One day, he would make this girl lower her arrogant head in front of him. The cold energy in front of him was so cold that Lin Xian could feel the wind. His body was surrounded by a faint white light. This was Ling Longshue's power. It was because of this power that Lin Xian could be protected. However, before this power would not appear. But now this power had appeared. In other words, the cold energy here had reached a very exaggerated level. The further he walked, the bigger the space became. It was so big that it was boundless. This is... Lin Xian looked at the black mass in front of him and revealed an expression of disbelief. When Lin Xian came closer, he saw everything clearly. This was an army of tens of thousands of frozen soldiers. No. Lin Xian furrowed his brows and spread his imperial wings. Ding! The weather is too cold. Royal wings cannot be opened. The scumbag system's voice sounded in his mind. This place was so cold that the royal wings could not be opened. 1,000,000 people. Ling Longshue's beautiful eyes flashed with surprise. 1,000,000? Lin Xian came to her side. There are 1,000,000 frozen soldiers here. An army of 1,000,000 frozen in ice? That's too King ridiculous. Lin Xian originally thought that there were only a few tens of thousands. However, he suddenly realized that with such a huge number, how could there be only a few tens of thousands of soldiers? There were hundreds of thousands, no, millions. Lin Xian walked in front of them and looked at the armor they were wearing. Although it was under the ice, he could still see it clearly. This armor, how come I've never seen it before? Lin Xian revealed an astonished expression. Of course you haven't seen it before. This is the armor of you humans from 800 years ago. Ling Longshue's voice sounded. Lin Xian. How do you know? 800 years ago, this sovereign saw it. 800 years ago. You've lived for 800 years? Lin Xian's mouth was wide open. Ling Longshue frowned slightly and said unhappily, What's wrong with that? You humans have a lifespan of 1,000 years when you cultivate to the heavenly venerable stage. let alone us void foxes. Then how long can you live as a void fox? Even if you have no cultivation, you can live for 1,000 years. What about you? Great virtual stage 100,000 years. Lin Xian. Then how long have you lived? 3,000 years. Lin Xian. Old woman. Linglong Shui. Actually, Lin Xian could not accept it at first. However, after thinking about it, although he had lived for 3,000 years, she could live for 100,000 years. 3,000 years was nothing compared to 100,000 years. I've only lived for 21 years, and I've been sullied by a 3,000-year-old old woman like you. And now you're giving me that attitude? Do you think it's easy for me? Linglong Shui. To be honest, she really wanted to kill him. No, she wanted to slice off his flesh bit by bit, listen to his painful wails, and then slowly torture him to death. Then how long can we humans live at the great virtual stage? Lin Xian asked curiously. This was something he had never understood before. 3,000 years. Linglong Shui thought for a moment before answering Lin Xian. What about the heavenly Dao realm? How would I know? Linglong Shui was really annoyed to death by Lin Xian. K. Was he treating her as 100,000 wise? That's true. Then Lin Xian's attention was placed on the million soldiers in front of him. 800 years ago, planet Aqua China should have been in an era of war. Back then, the 5 empires didn't seem to have been established, nor did they have any technology. Lin Xian pondered slightly. 800 years ago, it was similar to ancient times on Earth. Back then it was still the world of humans. The Fey beasts had yet to rise. So humans could even start a war with millions of soldiers. Now that I think about it, it's really sad. Lin Xian sighed. Hey Xiao Linglong. Lin Xian looked at Linglong Shui and asked, do you know anything about this army from 800 years ago? Linglong Shui shook her head slightly. She decisively chose to ignore the way Lin Xian addressed her by Linglong Shui. The history that Lin Xian learned from his memories told him that 800 years ago, the 5 empires didn't exist at all. There were probably dozens or hundreds of empires. Back then, it was a war of unification. Finally, the hundreds of empires were united into the 5 empires. 800 years ago, there were hundreds of empires on planet Aqua Blue. These million soldiers should have existed in one of the empires back then. However, for some reason, they were all frozen here. At that moment, Lin Xian's pupils suddenly constricted. Chapter 258. F***CK. Lin Xian quickly took a step back, and could not help but curse. Linglong Shui subconsciously looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian pointed at the frozen person in front of him, and said to Linglong Shui, This thing is looking at me. Lin Xian actually saw that person's eyes were rolling around and staring at him. This is so F***king scary. It was not that Lin Xian was a coward, but anyone with courage who saw this scene would not be able to remain calm. Linglong Shui walked over and looked at the person. Its eyes are closed. How can it look at you? Moreover, it has frozen so many people. They're already dead. Linglong Shui looked at Lin Xian angrily. She felt that Lin Xian was deliberately lying to her. This was also in line with Lin Xian's image in her heart. Lin Xian moved closer and saw that the person's eyes were indeed closed. After thinking about it, it made sense. After being frozen for hundreds of years, no matter how strong he was, he should have died long ago. Could it be that he had seen wrongly? Lin Xian was not sure. This cold energy seems to be coming from even deeper. Lin Xian looked at Linglong Shui and said. Linglong Shui stretched out her hand, and Lin Xian's body flew up with her. The two of them flew above the millions of lions. Flying above, Lin Xian looked down at the dense crowd below, and his heart trembled. He could see even more clearly now. There were probably millions of people here. At this moment, the entire space seemed to tremble. Lin Xian looked down, and saw that the ice outside the bodies of the people below was melting. Very quickly the ice melted, and those people moved. Linglong Shui frowned slightly. See, I told you. Those people aren't dead. Lin Xian said to Linglong Shui in front of him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. A group of archers shot arrows at them from below. No, they're already dead. As Ling Longshui finished speaking, she slapped her palm down from above. Boom! This slap was earth-shattering. When the dust settled, Lin Xian's mouth was wide open. F***ck. This strong person. With one slap, hundreds of thousands of people below were reduced to ashes, and an area of tens of thousands of meters was flattened. Hey, you're killing people. Lin Xian stared at Ling Longshui. Then the two of them landed on the ground. They're already dead. Then why can they move? They can talk. Ling Longshui shook her head slightly. I don't know. Huh. Hundreds of thousands of roars could be heard from the surroundings as they surged towards them, surrounding them in the middle. Ling Longshui wanted to continue attacking, but after thinking for a while, she disappeared with Lin Xian. They appeared at the back of the group of people. Everyone turned their gazes over in unison. Then, they rushed toward the two of them. Ling Longshui waved her hand slightly, and a barrier formed in front of them. No matter how many attacks the group of people launched, they could not break through the barrier set up by Ling Longshui. Let's go, Ling Longshui said and walked deeper in. She was curious. What's going on? This was beyond Lin Xian's understanding of the world. I'm afraid some special power is controlling them. Ling Longshui explained to Lin Xian. That means inside. Ling Longshui nodded slightly. It was a fact that millions of people had fallen. Ling Longshui could confirm this. However, she did not understand why they could wake up and even make a sound. But there must be some kind of power controlling them. To control millions of people, this power was very terrifying. Ling Longshui admitted that if she did not have a special method, she would not have been able to do it. Ling Longshui stopped in front of them. Don't move. Ling Longshui shouted at Lin Xian. Then, Lin Xian stopped in his tracks and activated his Eye of Cave Spirit. There was a barrier in front of them. This place was not as spacious as it used to be. The passage was only about 10 meters wide, and the front was high. Through the barrier, they could see that it was a space. It was not very big because they could see the ice wall at the end. Terrifying cold energy was released from inside the barrier. Lin Xian could not believe that this was the source. It was inside the barrier. Deep Freeze Valley had become like this because of something inside. Ling Longshui slowly reached out her slender hand toward the barrier. The moment her hand touched the barrier emitted a light blue light. Then, as if she had been electrocuted, Ling Longshui withdrew her hand. Behind them, countless hurried footsteps could be heard. Lin Xian turned around and his mouth fell open. Damn! That dense group of people had caught up to them. They could actually break through Ling Longshui's barrier. Seeing this, Ling Longshui was also slightly surprised. Trespassers shall die. Several figures sped through the void, and then charged toward Lin Xian and Ling Longshui with a powerful force. Damn! This is the Grand Domain realm, right? Lin Xian could feel the powerful force. They had been dead for so long. How could they still be so strong? What kind of monsters were they? Ling Longshui pushed out her palm slightly, and the group of people was pushed far away. Then Lin Xian looked at Ling Longshui. Her right hand was directly inserted into the barrier. A powerful force attacked her, causing Lin Xian to tremble in fear. Then, Lin Xian saw with his eye of spiritual insight that Ling Longshui had forcefully torn a hole in the barrier. Go in, Ling Longshui said to Lin Xian. Then Lin Xian charged in. The moment Lin Xian entered, he froze, because his entire body was sealed in ice. After Ling Longshui entered, she quickly released her power on Lin Xian to melt the ice around him. Hiss! Lin Xian sucked in a breath of cold air. But when he felt the heat coming from inside him, he felt much better. What kind of level is the frost power here? Why was I frozen in an instant even with your power? Lin Xian looked at Ling Longshui in astonishment. Ling Longshui moved slowly in the space and looked around. Then her voice drifted over. Insta-killed a Grand Domain Realm cultivator. Lin Xian. What the F***ck? What kind of place was this? Even a Grand Domain Realm cultivator could be killed in an instant. At this moment Ling Longshui's beautiful eyes lit up. Her gaze landed on an altar in front of her. Lin Xian also saw it. This space wasn't big. It was only about a few thousand square meters. Apart from ice, there was nothing special. Only the tall altar made of ice was eye-catching. What caught Lin Xian's attention the most was that the steps on the altar were actually made of deep frost spirit crystals. They weren't even ordinary deep frost spirit crystals. If it was only Lin Xian, even without this terrifying frost power, he probably wouldn't be able to stand on these deep frost spirit crystals. Whoosh! Linglong Shui ignored Lin Xian and flew up. Hey! Lin Xian was hugging a powerful thigh. This Linglong Shui was a great virtual realm cultivator. She was simply too powerful. If it weren't for her, Lin Xian would have already died countless times outside, let alone here. Then, Lin Xian bitterly climbed up bit by bit. When Lin Xian climbed up and saw the scene in front of him, he was unprecedentedly shocked. Chapter 259. Linglong Shui, who was standing in front of him, was also shocked. This is... Lin Xian walked to her side and looked in front of him. In front of him was a bed. To be precise, it was a normal bed, but it looked extremely luxurious. The terrifying cold energy was constantly being released from this bed. What shocked Lin Xian was not this, but a woman in luxurious ancient clothing was lying on the bed. She lay quietly on the bed, her hands elegantly placed on her lower abdomen. Even so, Lin Xian felt that in terms of temperament, this woman did not lose to Linglong Shui. No, it was not just her noble and elegant temperament that did not lose to Linglong Shui. Her appearance did not lose to Linglong Shui at all. She wore a soft and elegant red dress with golden cloud embroidery and a golden belt around her waist. There was a bright red flame between her eyebrows, and her slender fingers were placed on her lower abdomen. She was about 1.7 meters tall and could be considered very tall. Her skin was fair, and she was comparable to Linglong Shui. Her appearance was also comparable to Linglong Shui's. She was like a cloud that covered the moon, or like snow that drifted in the wind. Linglong Shui was probably the most beautiful woman Lin Xian had ever seen. Compared to Linya and Linya, she was definitely better. Her temperament was even more indescribable. It was as if she was a fairy that should not exist in this world, and could only exist in the celestial realm. However, Linglong Shui had a reason, because she was from the Fox clan, and could transform into a human form. It was reasonable for her to be more beautiful. But this woman, Lin Xian looked at her. This was probably the first person that Lin Xian had ever seen who could compare to Linglong Shui in terms of appearance and temperament. Even though she was already dead and not breathing, just lying there, her elegant and noble temperament moved Lin Xian. The amazing thing was that after so many years, her skin was still so good. Even if she was frozen in such a cold place, it shouldn't be so perfect. What a pity, such a beautiful goddess is dead. Lin Xian secretly shook his head. Ding! You have triggered the mission. Topple the Ice Emperor. Mission time limit, 3 months. Mission reward, Water and Ice Element Mastery, Heaven Ranked Skill, Ice Immortal Art. Mission penalty, permanent loss of water and ice element. Current status, forcefully accepted. Lin Xian. Lin Xian's expression immediately froze. What the hell? Is there something wrong with your system? Every time you see a beautiful woman, you would trigger a mission. 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 Do you even trigger a mission? Topple the Ice Emperor? Topples F asterisk 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 s asterisk asterisk. Lin Xian roared endlessly in his heart. Of. At this moment, Linglong Shui's attention was not on Lin Xian, but on the woman. What 10,000-year ice heart? Lin Xian moved closer. Linglong Shui slowly stretched out her hand and touched an invisible barrier protecting her. Bang! The blue necklace on the woman's chest suddenly released a powerful force. 2 forces surrounded Linglong Shui and Lin Xian. Lin Xian was sent flying into the air as his body was instantly sealed in ice. Cold. His first reaction was cold, a coldness that penetrated his heart. Ding! Water Element Mastery 1%. 2%. Ding! You have awakened the element, ice. Ding! Ice Element Mastery 1%. 2%. When Lin Xian heard the system's voice in his mind, he calmed down. This force was actually helping him awaken the water and ice elements. Ling Longshui subconsciously wanted to break this force for Lin Xian, but she felt the change in Lin Xian's strength. Not only was his life force not fading, his strength was increasing. This caused her to be extremely surprised. She wanted to pull out her hand, but it was tightly sucked in by the force released by the barrier. She couldn't pull it out no matter how hard she tried. Chi! In the next moment, Ling Longshui's pulse was cut open. Ling Longshui frowned and blood spurted out. However, it only lasted for a few seconds before the wound healed. Ling Longshui was able to pull out her hand at this time. She looked in front of her in shock. Her blood had condensed into a drop of essence blood that was floating above the woman and constantly spinning. Even Ling Longshui didn't understand what was going on. Plop! Ouch! Lin Xian covered his butt and crawled up from the ground. Arcane Body 9th Star. Not only did he awaken the water and ice elements, he also reached Arcane Body 9th Star. This should be the third method that Lin Xian knew of that could raise his level apart from killing demonic beasts and humans. This was also something that Lin Xian didn't expect. No matter what, Lin Xian was extremely shocked by the rewards he gained from this trip. He awakened 2 attributes and increased his level by 2 stars. Even Lin Xian was a little dumbfounded. He didn't understand how he could awaken the water and ice elements. He didn't even understand what kind of cold force release that allowed him to awaken them. From now on, Lin Xian already had 4 attributes: lightning, space, water, and ice. Ling Longshui glanced at Lin Xian and frowned. You actually awakened other attributes? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I don't know what released a force just now, but I awakened them. Envious, right? To be honest, Ling Longshui was really envious. Demons were destined to have attributes the moment they were born. Void foxes had the space element, so they were destined to only have the space element in their lives no matter how hard they tried. However, humans were different. Humans could awaken other attributes through certain opportunities. What's that? Lin Xian stared at the drop of blood in the air and asked in surprise. My blood essence. Allah. Lin Xian stared at the woman and asked, what is the 10,000-year ice heart you mentioned just now? This bed. It's a 10,000-year spiritual treasure. The strong cold force here, even forming the deep freeze valley, is because of this bed. To be precise, it's because of the necklace on her chest. Lin Xian looked over. What necklace is that? Ling Longshui shook her head slightly. But even after she died, she still helped me awaken my attributes. I don't know how to thank her. To be honest, Lin Xian couldn't bear to see such a beautiful woman die just like that. No, he couldn't bear to. Perhaps this was what men were like. The most important thing was the triggered mission. In other words, the water and ice elements now would be gone in 3 months. Damn it! Who told you she died? Ling Longshui's voice floated over. What? Not dead. Those people outside aren't dead? She's not dead? No. I just don't know if she's a friend or a foe. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. Oh my. At least this system still had some conscience. If she was still alive, then there was still a possibility. At this moment, the barrier outside disappeared. A group of soldiers swarmed in and surrounded them. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.